Nephew, sit down, let me talk to you. See, I read your book, cuz, and the first thing God said was don't learn nothing. You dig? B-I-B-L-E, think, hold up, that don't add up, G. No. Genesis chapter 2.0, God said, don't touch that tree. No. Tree of knowledge sitting pretty in the middle of the yard. Think it was the crime, homie, no one hit him hard. Adam wanted wisdom, now the whole world catching stripes. Your God gave a death sentence for the first man wanting life. So you built the whole brand saying learn to think with me. But need your origin story, cause it's thinking ain't for free. Calvary, chapel, confirmation, that's where you got your start. Got a seminary degree, more like a youth group with heart. 43 hours, nephew, telling him what to do. While devil in Israel, what they say about drop it like it's doctrine. Drop it like it's doctrine. When the Bible says don't think, it might start drop it like it's doctrine. Drop it like it's doctrine. Bible thinking, but the thinking got you locked in. Drop it like it's doctrine. Drop it like it's doctrine. When the Bible says don't think, it might start drop it like it's doctrine. Drop it like it's doctrine. Bible thinking, but the thinking got you locked in. You did. Leviticus 25, let me read it real slow. Buy 'em from the nations, keep the kids and let it grow. Pass them down as property, that's inheritance. You hear, that's chattel, that's a chain gang, that's a person, not a year. But you on that Friday stream like biblical slavery was fine. It's different from the South, Mike, that's what the South said every time. Richard Furman, 1822, preaching from the same pew. Southern Baptist was founded on that same game that you do. Exodus 21 verse 20, right up in his hand. The slave survives a day or two, no punishment, that's the plan. He uses money, that's the text, you claim the love. But when it gets uncomfortable, you put them past the glove. Drop it like it's doctrine. Drop it like it's doctrine. When the Bible says don't think, it might cause drop it like it's doctrine. Drop it like it's doctrine. Bible thinker, but the thinking got you locked in. Drop it like it's doctrine. Drop it like it's doctrine. When the Bible says don't think, it might cause drop it like it's doctrine. Drop it like it's doctrine. Bible thinker, but the thinking got you locked in. You did. 800 times you said rose, a word that ain't in scripture. Not in Greek, not in Hebrew, but that's what you preach to. Julian was apostle, Beth Barr said dismissive, Michael Burr said hard to listen. That's a doctor in your tradition. You said gifted women hold back, those were your words, Mike. Then you spent 13 videos defending why that's right. You saw the cage, described the cage and locked it from the outside. Your whole theology is a myth, ain't nobody got a choice. Drop it like it's doctrine. Drop it like it's doctrine. When the Bible says don't think, it might cause drop it like it's doctrine. Drop it like it's doctrine. Bible thinking, but the thinking got you locked in. Drop it like it's doctrine. Drop it like it's doctrine. When the Bible says don't think, it might come. Drop it like it's doctrine. Drop it like it's doctrine. Bible think, more like Bible thinker.
Yeah, honey, I know that I'm not live over on TikTok yet, because I haven't clicked the go live button yet.
You build a career on thinking, but thinking was the first crime. We Dar Dawkins, Gary from Jersey.
Shit.
13
There
years
we
online
go.
ain't proved nothing. Mute button is your best argument. Let's go. Gary, let me put you on the stand. You claim to prove God, but the method ain't planned. I suppose your conclusion, then you scream out loud. Circular reasoning don't move a crowd. You run back like the script, same lines every night. Do all facts derived from God that ain't in sight. What? That's a loaded question wrapped in a false choice. Then you mute anybody who don't follow your voice. Safety is helpline. What a deceptive name. Lure them to your sandbox, then you rig the game.
There we go. Now we're live everywhere. We're live on Facebook. We're live on the Instagram. We're live on YouTube. Thank you so much there, honey, for sending those hearts there. Let's see. I gotta get my comments up. He ain't coming back. Except he's still here. Dark Dawkins.
Let's talk about your obsession. Mr. Dylan Hunt, you got banned from atheist experience. They don't want you. Banned from talk heathen too for being disrespectful, then encourage prank calls. Gary, that's pathetic. Now you blog about the man like he your ex, you can't get over. Whole section dedicated. The relationship is over. You say Matt's afraid to face you. Community is laughing. He don't think about you, Gary. You just background static. Classic case of I wasn't fired. I quit syndrome. Got kicked out the party and you.
There we go. Let's see, hold on.
your Patreon, you debating randoms on the Discord server, staring. Let me switch gears. You've been evolution false, dunking atheism. 5 names but 0 results. Different aliens, the same broken script every time. Patrol see your worldview and you control the every line. Presuppose these, Gary, you ain't proving jack.
There we go. Hi there, honey. How you doing? And she sent a rose. Thank you so much. Let's get this. We're live on the Clips channel as well. Learned a little something from Justin, Deconstruction Zone. I got a vertical over there. Shit. Hold on. But you know, yeah. What up there, Queen Elise? How you doing? Okay. So yes, we are live streaming everywhere. Every single place that I can. This is a little bit a lot. Let's see. So let's get rid of that. That. Turn that mic off, Gary. Shut the fuck up, Gary. Permanently. What up? So today's topics are the fact that God supports child marriage, chattel slavery, sexual slavery, and child sacrifices. If you disagree with any of these, because God is evil, your God is evil, everybody's God is evil. I'm like the Oprah of God is evil today. Your God is evil, your God is evil, your God is evil, everybody's God is evil. Let's see. Stage. Okay, let's go in. Hide that. That guy's going. The guest grid doesn't need to. Caller's name needs to refresh. There we go. I got that going. I need to change the show title to God is Evil. All right. Hello, everybody. We're just getting started today. Let me see about getting this. Boom. A little bit more light on me, I guess. See how well that does. Maybe I'm too bright. I don't know. Hi there, Mr. Pagan. Hi there, Joka. Thank you for doing your dailies. If you're in the chat right now and you need to do your dailies, do your dailies. That'll help us out here. Let's see. Let's close that. If anybody would like to request up and interact with me, I'd love to hear your thoughts about whether or not God is evil, specifically on the topics of child marriage, chattel slavery, sexual slavery, and child sacrifices. Oh, somebody just followed. Thank you so much for following. I gotta, oh shit, hold on, my stage over here is not, I don't know if it's up. Let's see. You nope. VLC nope. Right. Hey there, Lathe. How you doing? Can you give the verse of God saying to sacrifice children? Yeah. If you want to come up and ask that question, I'd love to interact with you on it. But we can definitely discuss that. I don't know if you're of age or what, but let's see. Yeah, I built in a search here. There. Let's see. I ran Tab yesterday. My friend Tab the 8th. Who's Tab? Anglican Bible Babble. I don't know who Tab is. What up there, Von Zoom? Thank you so much for sending for doing that. And you'll notice that the I've got the things raining from above today too. Oh wait. I'll get back into this. Judges 11:30 to 40. That is one of them. There's also Ezekiel reaffirms it. From which Bible? Like the which Bible, or do you just mean which version of the Bible? All versions of the Bible. Like I don't understand like that whole concept there of asking, well, which version of the Bible says it, because like it's always every version. Like it's not like child sacrifice in this respect is not some kind of like thing that is lost in translation. You know, it's like either it's requested or it's not. Like, yeah, you could easily misunderstand. That's okay, Joka. I wasn't necessarily talking about you, but there's just so many people out there that are like that say, "Oh, well, which version are you reading? Are you reading KJV? You got to read KJV to get it right." Like that's just how it operates. Like that's not the thing. So it's always definitely every single version of the Bible. And there's several scholars that do support that. So let's see, Ezekiel 25, 25 to 26 definitely has God admitting that he asked for child sacrifice. We've got John Levinson and Francesca Stavrakopoulos who makes this. I mean, you do gotta read KJV though. Kent Hovind thinks that we came from Iraq, but Iran's so far away. Elbows up, Canada. How's everybody doing today? I hope y'all are doing good. Abraham? I'm not sure what the question is. Abraham. Let's see on the screen there. I know let's see. Let me get my vertical up over here. Prompt. Let's see. My prompts over. That'll work for now. Means specific books, yeah. See, I'm guessing child sacrifice is to do with Jacob. No, not necessarily. Because he doesn't actually sacrifice his child, because that's like God pranking Abraham. There's other places where God directly calls for child sacrifice. If you want to come up and talk about it, I'd love to discuss it with you. If you're over there on the YouTube and you're watching, thank you so much for watching over on the YouTube. If you're on Facebook, it's 4:25, so it's probably dinner time. Let's see. I'm getting everything kind of situated over here. Suggestion, the audio stream's current bitrate is 0. I don't think so. I think that you guys can hear me just fine. Here, I'm going to put on case dismissed.
Dispatch, we got a situation. Former officer gone rogue. Last seen with a Bible and a book deal. Yeah. Armed with a false analogy. Consider him dangerous to himself. 3 generations in the badges running through your blood. Yeah. SWAT team, gang detail, trained to play the judge. Metro unit muscle, interrogation room thug. Traded in the handcuffs for a saddleback church hug. I peeped the padded gym, it ain't that complex. You went from hands behind your back to bow your head here for this text, same energy, different uniform, same authority, flex. What? Cop the past the pipeline.
Hey there, Jaden. How you doing?
Teaching ancient history. Man, who are you kidding? 5 seminaries got you paid. I junk villain. No Greek, no Hebrew.
So I am kind of shit, hold on.
Even Christians think your methods are
Just so that people know coming in, I do appreciate friendlies, but I do want to try to keep it to just me and some opposition here for maybe a couple of hours. And then we might have a little bit of a hangout time later on in the stream. So I want to try to keep it to friendlies here at first. I appreciate everybody in the chat there that is coming up or that is watching and everything. But I do kind of want to keep it to friendlies here for a little bit. I want to play some PLO tonight. I usually suck at PLO. See, here's the thing with Pot Limit Omaha. It's a type of poker. Pot Limit Omaha, you can't just have simple hands. Like you can't have. Oh, thank you so much there, Banshee. I appreciate you. Friendlies. Yeah. You mean ops? Yeah, sorry. Am I not using the correct lingo here? I'm just looking for ops right now. Later on here in about an hour and a half or so, I'll definitely have some friendlies up. But what did I say something weird? I probably said something weird. That makes more sense. I want ops first, not necessarily friendlies right now. But okay, so the thing with Pot Limit Omaha. Just looking for friendly. You repeatedly said only friendlies. Oh my God. Fuck me. Okay. I only want ops in the first couple hours here. Just me and some ops if I can. So that's what I'm kind of looking for tonight. I'm probably getting red because I'm embarrassed because I misspoke. Let's see. I'm live on both Facebook and Instagram. Where Instagram I've got like 20,000 followers, and Facebook I've got 100 and some odd. I've got nobody watching on either. It's so crazy. I don't even know why I try. Oh wait, there's one person over on Instagram. Never mind. So opposition. If you would like, be right back. I'm gonna go check out Facebook. Why? Why do you have to do that? Like, I don't understand. Oh, one thing I did figure out is that how to kind of lock down the director position in the Video Ninja control room. I looked it up and I was able to lock that down. So yeah, definitely. Let's see. Oh wait, I didn't pin it. Let me. Oh wait, no, it is pinned. It was pinned. It just wasn't pinned for me, I guess. Over there on YouTube, I did set a goal. If y'all would like to see me do a classic stream tomorrow, by classic stream, what I mean is like a response video kind of stream where I've got videos that I could respond to, but if you want me to respond to a video over there on YouTube, I've got like a meager goal of 15 $5 or more super chats, and we will do a stream tomorrow like that. So in case people are wondering. So do you think that God doesn't support child marriage, chattel slavery, sexual slavery, or child sacrifices? Then please request up, because I'd love to talk to you, because he definitely does. I see probably just text prediction over there sharing like crazy. I appreciate you doing that. We'll listen to this right now. Will? I give back to the community. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much there. I appreciate you. No hate here? Sure. I love me an OG response stream. Can Burcephus come? I could figure out something for Burcephus to do for sure. Let's see. Hold on. I love me an OG response stream. Can Persephus come? Persephus can come. Yeah, Joka, I know, no hate. I'm good with no hate. I don't want to be hateful. So, you know, if you want to come up and have a conversation, please do. There's a Video Ninja link that's just ge.hop.2/talk to me. You can hit that up and you can come up. Why don't we just prove evil isn't evil? Because that shit makes sense. Prove evil isn't evil because that shit makes sense. I don't know what that means. Am I allowed to resend the comment? Well, do you want to come up, Joka? Here, I sent you a request. I don't know what this question is. Am I allowed to resend the comment? Oh, you're at work. Okay. Hey there, Lost. Don't bless me with God. Don't curse me like that. I don't want God to bless me. What do you mean by evil? Absurdist atheist. So, I mean, what I mean by evil is just sort of this, you know, things that are bad, just so beyond the pale that, you know, it's obviously bad, as far as like like whether or not it's a good or bad thing to lie. Like if you lie, that's not necessarily evil, right? But if you like, stab a baby in the face, like that would be evil, definitely, right? So that's what I mean. I will pray without your consent. Ooh, that's not cool. That's not right. Be less. Nah, I'd rather be too much. And God less, God be less is greater than God be less. I hope y'all are doing great today. Let's see. We get some YouTube comments. The whole argument is a farce. It's stupid to think that someone is an obvious asshole somehow isn't because it will hurt feelings. I'm not sure what that means there, Harmonica. I recognize that comment bred like a fucking math question. Read like a math question. I get it. Had an amazing stream this middling. Having a great day, host. Oh, that's great. Good to hear it. May says one of my favorite atheist experience hosts. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. Oh no, yeah, okay. Contra mint bread. Yeah, there you go. Aw, he's my favorite host too. Thank you, honey. You're my favorite co-host. Hey there, She Wonders. Well, Lost, do you want to come up? Can you come up? There we go. Oh, wait, hold on. So sorry. 1 second. I gotta change the... there we go. I got you now. Hi there, Lost. How you doing?
Yeah. Good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Let's see. I can just call you by Lost, and then what are your pronouns?
Yeah, I go by like he, him, he, they, whatever works for you.
Okay. All right, cool. So what do you want to talk about?
Yeah. So like, to me, like I like believe in the God of Christianity, but I think like most of the Bible is just gonna be like metaphors. So when we talk about like points in like the Old and New Testament, what seem to like be like condoning or like allowing like the graping and alignment of children. I'm probably just gonna say those just like aren't gonna be like stories that pertain to reality, and that God is just gonna be like some personal, causally efficacious being who created the universe.
Okay, do you believe in the Bible?
I feel like I just answered that, but like I would say like maybe like Jesus existed as an historical figure, and like I think it's like more postmodern that the resurrection occurred.
Okay. So, I mean, if you can't trust what the Bible tells you is true, then how can you know that the Bible is true? Anything in
Yeah,
the
so
Bible is true.
yeah, I mean obviously I wouldn't like appeal to the Bible as reasoning why something in the Bible would be true. If we're talking about like the resurrection of stuff like that, I'd probably like be talking about Tacitus, Josephus, Ignatius, etc. Like people like that. Who,
None of those people prove the resurrection at all.
well, again, that's obviously just going to be like a claim, right? So you'd have to
No.
substantiate that.
I mean, no, it's substantiated by the fact that they don't actually prove that. Like, can you tell me how Josephus proves the
obviously
resurrection?
I like I just want to be clear. You said like I gave you an example of 3 people, and you said those people don't prove the resurrection, which makes me think that you already have some sort of like external information that would like help you like derive those people didn't come to that conclusion. No one asked you what that was.
No, so
you said, and I quote,
lost. Just reading those accounts, it doesn't prove the resurrection.
Wait,
Like
can
they
you
don't.
just like name one of those accounts for me? Just like any one of them.
I mean, you went pretty fast, but I'm guessing Josephus, Tacitus.
Well, those are names. I'm asking for one of like the names of one of the accounts.
The names of one of the accounts. Those are the accounts you named.
No. I don't understand. So like, if I like, let's say my name is Timmy, and me, Timmy, I read a book. That book is gonna have a name, right?
Oh, okay. So you mean like the Antiquities of the Jews?
Sure. And which one is that gonna be related to?
Which that's Josephus? Like, why are you talking to me like I'm dumb right now?
No, I would never do that to you.
No, you're doing that right now. You're
person.
talking to me like I'm dumb. You mentioned Josephus, and now you're giving me a basic ass history quiz on what Josephus wrote. So, like, can we just cut the shit, cut the condescension, and you just tell me why you think Josephus proves the resurrection?
Well, I don't care. That's not the type of thing I care about. You just asked me like why I think that. But if like, I think it's more important to clarify whether or not God exists.
Okay, so hold on. You mentioned the resurrection, you mentioned Jesus existing, and now you want to go to God existing.
Well, no, you asked me like what in the Bible I think is true. I gave you the answer to that question. You didn't say like whether or not I wanted to like.
No. Just listen. Because you went so fast, maybe it went past me. Maybe you can slow down, and you can just tell me why you think the Bible represents anything about God.
Why I think the Bible represents it. That wasn't like your question. Is it like a new question?
It's not a new question. I asked you originally how if you're taking the Bible metaphorically, how can you know anything in the Bible is true? Now you're wanting to talk about God existing. Since you're a Christian.
I answered that question. Like the last one you said. Sorry, my bad.
Are you going to be this insufferable the entire time?
Well, whatever like about me is like what like so can you just clarify like what I'm saying for this?
No, why don't you clarify for me? You clarify what you've said and what you've proven so far. Since I seem to be a big dum-dum up here and I don't seem to be tracking you, why don't you drive for a bit? Why don't you tell me what you want to talk about there, Lost?
Yeah, well, just because you asked me a few things, do you say like do you want me to like reiterate what we talked about?
You
already?
mentioned a lot of things there, Lost. You went so fast and you mentioned so many things. You deviated from the child marriage, chattel slavery, spiritual slavery, and child sacrifices by trying to explain how they're metaphors or some kind of shit like that. And then you went on to Jesus existing and the resurrection, to which I then asked you, how do you know anything that is contained within the Bible, including the resurrection and Jesus, are true if you're going to take it metaphorically? And that's when you brought up Josephus, Tacitus, probably Pliny the Younger. I'm not sure. You were going so fast there. You're trying to act like a fucking philosophobro so hard that you're just blowing through this stuff.
I'm actually like way too dumb to be a philbo, so I couldn't do that.
No, I'm saying you're trying to act like it. It's called being a Timu Philbro. So that's what you're doing right now. And I need you to slow down.
I know like nothing about philosophy. I don't even know like.
No, I'm not talking about knowing philosophy. I'm talking about the fact that you went so fast through what you were saying. It was hard for me to track even what words were that you were saying. So maybe you can slow down and maybe you can talk to me like a normal fucking person and you could just tell me what you want to be able to prove. What do you
Okay, so I
want to
just want to
talk
be
about,
clear though.
Lost?
It seems like you like reiterated exactly everything that happened throughout the entire conversation,
Yeah.
and then you said I was speaking too fast in such a way that you didn't understand what was being said.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems to me that you're just like kind of just like talking the talk because you did understand
No, no,
everything that
no.
was happening over
Yes,
the course of
I
dialectic.
tried to regurgitate as best as I could remember the conversation. You seem to think that I was not tracking, as if I was asking you several different questions when I'm really just trying to get out of you the reason why you think that there's anything in the Bible that's true. And I'm trying to tackle that in several different ways that you yourself have started the conversation on. So now I'm asking you, please just pick a fucking lane and let's follow that chain of logic down that lane, okay? Just fucking pick one.
Okay, yeah. So I guess I could ask the question then: do you think it would be more expected under like theism if like we were to have like some sort of like when we feel like good things like tend to happen, and when we feel bad things tend to happen? Do you think that would be like indicative of like some like sort of would be more indicative under like a world where personalized God exists, was a world where like maybe would think like naturalism to be like the counter?
No, it sounds like shit happens. That's what it sounds like.
I don't really know what you mean by that.
You don't know what I mean by shit happens?
I don't honestly see how that relates to what I.
Right, you were talking about Eartheism or something like that, and how if you think maybe I misunderstood you, but if you feel like something or you think something bad is going to happen, then something bad happens. So it's kind of like you manifest some kind of reality. Am I close at all?
Yeah. Well, sort of. I'm saying, would it be expected that I'm trying to put this in words so like we can all understand like when you like feel bad. Oh, whoa, what just happened? When you feel bad or you feel angry, it's usually the result of bad things. When you feel good or you feel happy, it's usually the result of good things. Would that be expected, and more so in a world where God did or didn't exist? That's my question.
I think that it's indeterminate. Like I don't think that it's more likely on either. Like I think both worldviews can explain that, so it's not a differentiator.
Can you explain to me? Because I don't really see that. To me, like if we were to take like naturalism to the alternative, where like the world came about, so like entirely natural processes. To me, it
Right.
would obviously like we know like life would be extremely unlikely, but that's not my point. My point is that not only do we have life, but we have some sort of like organism, but that like we have like some sort of like conscious. But
Right.
obviously,
So
I don't
so
really
on
think that
both of the worldviews that you've proposed here, the both worldviews has our emotions reacting by chemical processes, and those chemical processes interact with the structure of our brain in order to elicit those experiences that we have. So on both ideas, you still have those emotions, you still have those things. One doesn't better explain it, so it's indeterminate. Does that make any more sense to you?
well, obviously they are true and they both processes. Both processes to explain reality. So you just said like these two, that both of those things are true in reality. So so it doesn't update either idea. So I'm
Right. Yeah.
saying which one is
I'm
more
saying
expected
emotions.
under.
No, no. So what I'm saying is that emotions are not a differentiator between a reality without God and a reality with God. So you need to provide me some differentiator, something that is more likely to exist in a reality with the God as opposed to without. And the emotion thing is simply not that. Or
Right.
you,
And it seems like
sorry, or you can explain why we need God for our emotions.
well, again, I'm not saying like we do or don't need God for our emotions. I'm just saying it's like more likely under theism that like we would have like some sort of like accurate emotional response
Okay,
to the
Jesus
like,
fucking Christ. Okay, tell me why it's more likely.
yeah. I mean, I just seems to be the case at priori.
I'm
I'm
sorry,
just going
say
off
that again.
seemings. I think I'm just going off seemings. It seems to be the case at priori.
It seems to be the case. Why does it seem to be the case? That's not an explanation. That's just a claim.
What do you mean? Like, do you understand how seemings work?
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding. You're talking low and a bit fast for me. I'm from the South. I'm a little slow. So,
No, I'm like also really slow. Yo, man,
okay.
this guy's so nice. He's such a nice guy.
I try. So what? So no. Can you just repeat what you were saying about how it seems to be so? Like you seem to think that that actually said something.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever like run like a Bayesian probability theorem?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know, like the equation for it.
Yes, I do.
So I'm just saying, like, if you were to plug in like that kind of like idea, it would be more like expected under theism than like philism.
Yeah, but you can't just say that, right? The whole purpose of using Bayesian analysis on this is so that you can point to what piece of evidence actually, we disagree on. And all you've done is say that, the likelihood is greater on God. You haven't actually given me anything to actually analyze with it. Like, what's the prior likelihood? Yeah, let's start there. What's the prior likelihood of emotions existing with a God, and then the converse of that would be without a God?
You want me to give you like the numbers? Well, I have no idea off the top. I'm just like saying like
Then
that's just
okay,
something
I'm
to think.
sorry. I'm sorry. This is a pet peeve of mine. If you're not going to give me fucking numbers, even generalized numbers that are justified with reasons, then don't invoke Bayesian reasoning, because it's a mathematical formula. Unless you have numbers to put into this, then there's no point in you bringing it the fucketh up.
Okay. So, right, like if I were to say that like the like a penny is smaller than the Earth, do you think I would have to like kind of give you some sort of like numbers as like grant that, or do you think maybe we could just like infer that if like that sort of appeals to like general philosophy, that we could just like accept that to be the case?
Well, how do you know that there's not a penny that exists out there that's larger than the Earth? Maybe it's in a different part of the
Well, I'm talking
universe.
about our Earth and a penny.
You're just saying our Earth and a penny. What you want to do is violate one of the very first rules of using Bayesian analysis. It's don't pick 100% and don't pick 0. So we don't need to pick 100% here. While it may be obvious to us, there's still the possibility that it could exist in some kind of aspect, right? So you
Right,
don't
but
need to
when we
pick
engage in
100%.
hypothetical, but when we gauge a hypothetical, there isn't like a series of like possible scenarios. There's only what I said within the hypothetical.
Right. I would go with a high likelihood that a penny is smaller than the Earth, like 95%, 96%. I would start there.
So you're saying that there exists a possible world where like a penny that exists on Earth would be bigger than the Earth
You
that's in
didn't
our
say you didn't
world?
say on Earth. You just said a penny is smaller than the Earth. See, now you're trying to pick a logical contradiction there,
Do you think
because
a penny
there's
doesn't exist on a place that isn't Earth?
no. So you switched up the statements there, right? You did a bait and switch. First, you said that a penny is smaller than the Earth, which you can have a penny that's bigger than the Earth that is outside of the Earth somewhere, right? That's a possibility. And then you switched it up to a penny on the Earth that's smaller than the Earth. So you're basically choosing something that is definitely 100%, because the converse is a logical contradiction which can't exist. So that's a
I
poor
think you're
example.
confused with how hypotheticals work. So
No,
if
no,
I
no,
say
no,
a
no, no. I'm not
hypothetical, right,
confused.
that
No,
the
no, no.
bike is
I'm not
green,
confused. I'm not
well,
confused
you're not
about
letting me
no.
speak.
Hold on,
Though.
hold on, hold on. I'm not confused about
You're not
how
letting
I'm
me
not
speak.
I'm not confused about how hypotheticals work. That in order for the hypothetical to not be a false not present some kind of false situation, there is for it to not violate any of the laws of logic, like the law of non-contradiction. You stipulating that the penny has to exist on Earth, the converse of that being that there is a penny that's larger than the Earth on the Earth, that is a logical contradiction. So I
Yeah.
mean,
So
that's
just
what
to
I'm
be clear,
saying.
like a penny is going to be like that which maintains like its shape. So like if a penny like is like bigger than like for example, in order for a penny to be considered part of U.S. currency, it would have to like meet the regulations of size. So if there exists something that like had like all the same like physical dynamics, was made of the same thing as a penny, it wouldn't be a penny under like the standard definition. So obviously, when I induce like a hypothetical, we're going to be talking about the normative definitions of words.
I feel like you've lied to me.
I would never lie to you.
Oh yeah.
You're too cute
Why
for
is
that.
it you started this off telling me that you're too stupid to be a Philbro and you don't know philosophy, but then yet you use all of the language of Philbros?
Well, no, I said like okay. To be fair, I did say like maybe I don't know too much about philosophy, but I did also say I was like very stupid, and that part I was being quite honest with.
No, I don't think that. I think that most Philbros are stupid. They're suffering Dunning Kruger, but everything that you're saying right now is playing along with the Philbro handbook.
Well, I don't really know too much about philosophy. Like I just like kind of like I hear some stuff on like TikTok live sometimes, and I'm trying to emulate it. I just want to be cool. Is that okay? That'd be cool.
No, I mean, I'm looking for genuine conversation up here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you mean by like genuine? Like, I feel like a lot of like people who come up here like, oh,
Do
they
you,
aren't genuine. Like, I usually
okay,
tell
so by
them.
genuine conversation, what I mean is, do you actually believe in the shit that you're talking about right now?
I think it's like quite possible that like God exists, if that's what you're saying.
I
Like whether or
mean,
not it's
there's a
more likely is
difference
what I'm trying to
between
prove.
possible God exists and plausibility, that like God plausibly existing. So, I mean, which one do you think it is? Do you think he plausibly exists, or do you think that it's just possible?
I mean, I think like if we were to have like if we don't like Bayesian terms, like it's like you could stay with like a 0.5% chance. I think like a priori, like it's slightly more likely that atheism is true. Like if I were to bring up like the point that I just made, I think there's like reasonable arguments as to like I would say like the point that I just made would be more like parsimonious under theism. So if you're asking like what I think, I'd say maybe if I'd take like an agnostic theist position.
Agnostic theist. Okay, well, let's try to reset the conversation a little bit. Because you were talking about how everything up here on the board you would just explain away with metaphor. So in what
Mhm.
way is it metaphor for like 1 Samuel 15:3 for God to tell the Israelites to stab babies in the face?
Yeah, I'd say there's probably going to be like some like overarching moral, even if and that's just going to be like indicative of the time period that it's describing.
It's
Like there's going to be a
indicative
lot
of
of
the
people who are like
time period
stabbing
it's
babies and
describing.
raping women.
Do you think that Jesus in the New Testament believed that the Old Testament was historically true?
I don't know.
You don't know?
That's correct.
Okay, so but in the New Testament, Jesus definitely affirms like Moses and the law of the prophets and everything like that. How do you feel about the law as affirmed by Jesus?
Yeah, and when you say like it was affirmed by Jesus, you're talking about something that exists in the New Testament. When I say like the Bible is metaphorical, I
Mhm.
usually mean like all if not most parts of the Bible.
Okay, and then
Or sorry, most if not all parts.
and then we're right back around to how do you know anything in the Bible maps to reality if it's all possibly metaphorical?
Yeah, like I said, you mentioned like some sort of like external historical source. The reason I'm like not getting into that is just because I'm not equipped to engage with that kind of dialectic.
Then why bring it up?
But that's just be like the general reason why one would affirm that.
That sorry, I'm sorry. Say that again. That I didn't catch that.
Like I'm saying, like most like in the same way, like I would have just like generally appealed to like the consensus of like the scholarship. Like there's going to be like this idea that there's like there's going to be one supernatural claim in the Bible. So that like I would like be affirming here, and that's like the Jesus resurrected. I think there's like reasonable historical evidence. I think like the majority of like atheist and
Yeah,
New
but you're
Testament
not.
scholarship agree that
There
at
seems to
least
be
existed someone named like
you seem to be
Charlotte.
arguing in an uneven way here, because on the one hand it seems like you're just playing at an appeal to authority fallacy, but on the other hand you're appealing to vague references to evidence. So which one do you want to do? Do you want to appeal to the authorities, or do you want to appeal to evidence?
Well, you asked me like how to come to that conclusion. I said, well, generally I'm just gonna like be appealing to like the consensus of all like New Testament and uh, atheist scholarship on it.
Right, but so what I would challenge is the evidence that any of that is built on, as far as like, the
I mean by that,
resurrection. Huh?
like the evidence that it's built on. What evidence?
Well, that's what I'm asking you.
Like the evidence for like the things that build up to the resurrection.
Well, not build up
Excuse me,
to the
like the
resurrection.
crucifixion.
You said, I mean, you said that you think that the resurrection happened, and then in order to prove that, you cite scholars, and then you mention evidence that I guess the scholars use, and so I'm trying to get some kind of evidence out of you that seems to convince you.
But do you remember what I said like in relation to that?
No. What did you
I
say?
said I'm not equipped to talk about that, which is why I didn't.
Then why bring it up?
I answered that question as well.
Okay. What was the answer to that?
It just like you can like generally appeal to like scholarship.
Yeah, but that's not the, I mean, no. So that's what I'm saying is that you're being uneven. Either appeal to the consensus or appeal to the evidence. Do one or the other. Don't do the circular reasoning thing where you're appealing to one and then appeal to the other, then appeal to the one again.
Well, you asked me two different questions. When it relates to like why I believe it despite not being like informed enough to like engage in the dialectic. Okay, but what do you mean boo?
I didn't.
I'm reading the chat, so.
No, this is fine. I'm just listen. I don't know if you can't give me any evidence and you're just going to appeal to what apologists say, then I don't see that how we can have a conversation, because it just seems that you're believing because you want to believe.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like a really good point you made. Like, it just seems like most people when they come up here, they talk about that. Maybe like they just like don't have sufficient evidence. God, I think you've actually converted me.
Oh, okay. I doubt that, but all right. Anyways,
No, I promise you, you have. I would just like to say, thank you very much for your time, and like I really appreciate you and your mods and everyone else here. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
all right. No, thank you, Lost. Appreciate you, I guess. That was interesting. So I do want to take the chance right now to, let's see. We've only got the one super chat over there, I believe. Let's see. We've got Contra sending in their heart, Mr. Pagan, Lathe, Von Zoom, Mystic Bear, Godwin, Banshee. Of course, Casey sending in the super chat to get us onto a classic stream tomorrow. Dippler over there sending in their hearts, doing their GoFundMe's. Godless Granny celebrating 64 months of being a member over there on the YouTube channel. I caught one live. Thank you so much there, Godless Granny, for being such a long-standing supporter. And then Mikey sent in their hearts. Thank you guys so much for being so kind. I really appreciate all of y'all. I'll count Godless Grannies towards the 15 goal there. If there's anybody that would like to come up and challenge me, I would really love to engage with anybody on these topics. If you're over there in the YouTube chat or in the Instagram live or on the Facebook live, on any of those, you can just hit up that link that is pinned on either of those or any of those platforms, and you can request up. It's just ge.hop.to talk to me. I'm thinking about, I've got some saved up money in the call-in studio. I might do a classic sort of call-in show one time or something. But if you would like to get on up in my box, please do. I would really love it if we got some opposition up in here. Get some opposition up in here. Hold on. It needs music. Let's get some opposition up in here. Let's get some opposition up in here. I miss randomly playing my banjolele. They were praising God at the Obama Library ceremony. I would expect that. Sure. You should consider never doing that again. What? No, I will definitely consider doing it again. Rainbow Ash says, Godless Engineer. We got James Villarreal in the chat who thinks the shroud is real. James, I'd love for you to hit up the link. Nobody is in the Video Ninja link right now, so if you would love to interact there, James, you're at the place of no longer seeking truth. I am here to seek truth, James. James, I want to seek the truth, and the only way that I can seek the truth is if you help me seek the truth right now. James, why are you gonna leave me to burn in hell? Help me seek truth now, James. James. How else am I going to get to heaven if it's not for you? 1 Peter 3:15. Attest and defend the hope that lives within you, James. Hit up that link, ge.hop2, hop.to. It should, let me see, G call-in room, yeah. Yeah, it seems to be working. That's exactly how I expect you to react. What do you mean? I'm begging you, James. I want to be saved. Please, James, come and save me. I need to be saved now. My eternal soul is begging for you to come save me, James. Come on, James. Wake up, you are dreaming. I think they put a bit of a slur in the chat. I don't know. Do you mean that as a slur there? Is this a slur there, wake up? I'm just kind of curious. I just need to know before I, like, you know, boot you. Because their God commands and condones slavery. That is correct. Let's see. They were praising God at the Obama lovers. Why do you think why do you think they are slavery lovers? I never said that, Stairway. I don't think that they're slavery lovers, but I mean, the Bible does condone that. It's the truth. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean other than a slur there, bud. So if you don't say what you actually meant by it soon, I'm just gonna boot you. Unless you can come up. You come up and explain how it's not a slur. See, Webb says, I keep asking the church horde that beg for donations to name one good thing God did in the Bible. Have yet to get an answer that didn't involve tricking Adam and Eve or unaliving his son, I guess. Yeah. If you need mods here, I mod for Joel Mezzo and several other similar channels. Oh yeah, I know they're Rainbow Ash. Normally, Casey usually bounces in between. Yeah. There you go. Justaro, how you doing? Hey there, Kevin. Hey there, Joka. Thank you for following. I requested Stairway Up, and I guess I think they denied. Let's see, history. Yep, declined. Richard Blasnet over there on Facebook says that I'm not worth anybody's time. Oh God, it stings. Like, I'm not worth your time. Fuck. Mina over there on Instagram said that he does not seem sincere at all. Yeah, I think Loss was just kind of playing around a little bit with some ideas. Somebody with the name Epstein Files. Let's see. Release yourself. Oh, Stairway to Heaven just followed me for some reason. Stairway, I'm only really interested in like talking to you. So if you want to get up in the box and we can have a discussion about Obama and God and all that other kind of stuff. Like you were talking some mad shit there, and I'd love to have you just come on up and you know, not talk shit, or not just talk shit, I guess, is what I'd like. Let's see. Trying to see over here, like if there's anybody that's like alive. I mean, Ian's live. I don't see anybody else that's live. Well, I mean, Ember's live too. I think tonight I'm gonna see if I can convince KC to watch Pressure. It's a movie about D-Day. It's a D-Day movie, like leading up to D-Day, not necessarily like D-Day. Let's see. The Longest Day is, yeah, I mean, that's one with that shithead, what's his face? What John Wayne? Yeah, that one's got John Wayne in it. Fuck that guy. I'm Rick Blasnet from Facebook, and what I meant to say is that the guest you were talking to was, oh, okay, there, Rick. Yeah, I'm Rick. Okay, sorry. Over there on YouTube or on Facebook, it was a little hard to distinguish that. Oh look, that got fucked up. Sup, guys? Hey there, Gretchen. How you doing? God supports child marriage, chattel slavery, sexual slavery, and child sacrifices. Now, I know that people have heard a lot about some of these. Child sacrifices is normally the one that people get hung up on sometimes, which is kind of interesting because God is pretty blatant about requesting that. So. John Wayne's teeth, what are they made of? I don't know. What? There are no atheists on top of rockets, NASA, Victor Glover. What the fuck are you talking about there, Stairway? Stairway? Sorry, mute. Count. You're getting muted again. Yeah, this time for 5 minutes. If you want to talk, come up and talk. Otherwise, shut the fuck up with your crazy shit in the comments. That's the mystery. What was it made of? Oh, you know, I'm doing pretty good there, Gretchen. Just, you know, I've had a pretty busy day today. Like, I left my cat card at work, so like we had to go out there and get it, and then got lunch, and that took for fucking ever because it was right around lunchtime, and then, you know, getting home and everything like that. Like, it's just been crazy. But I'm glad to be streaming today. Let's see. I don't want it to just be silent here.
I don't waste bars on small timers, nah. But when you use God's name to hustle, let me put this in a form you understand. Premise 1, you a grifter. Premise 2, I got receipts. Conclusion. Let's go. Christianity not capturing cash. Built the whole ministry, then you switch for a splash. Told your Protestant supporters you were standing on the truth. Then you swap theology like you were switching in the booth. You love a good syllogism, let me build one that's real. Premise one you chase.
All right, so you make this? Yes, Vanilla Gorilla, I did. Vanilla, do you want to come up and argue again, like the whole Roman thing, since you put out that diss track about me, or you just here to listen in and everything? It's fine if you just want to listen in and you don't want to come up, but I mean, I'm just saying. I've been streaming all night, every night on async. Oh, that's cool. Vanilla's chilling right now. Okay, that's cool. I do think that yeah, nice to see. I don't know if you mean to talk to me there, Kevin, but nice to see you too. But I think let's see. I made a song for M's. It's 2 minutes. Oh, that's cool. Is it up on the async channel or what? Yeah, me. Okay, cool. Ark Lloyd says, Godless Granny, I should really get my ass out of Act 1. I think what I'm going to do over here on the TikTok is I'm going to maybe hit another reset. I'm just going to hit a reset real quick and then, come back. Everybody else, everywhere else, I'll stay live, but over here on TikTok, I'm going to reset and then maybe we can get some people up because it's been, we haven't had any. Well, I mean, Lost was a decent conversation. I liked the conversation with Lost, but other opposition. Want to get some other opposition. So let me hit a reset over here. I'll be right back. Hi there, YouTube. If you are in the YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram chat and you would like to talk to me, you can easily do that by hitting the link that is pinned on each of those platforms, and you can request up to talk to me. You'll get taken to Video Ninja. Once on Video Ninja, it'll ask you some questions or whatnot, like your name and stuff, but you'll be able to get on into the thing. Let me actually let me hit up that link. Let me see if it'll because I got it queued up in a different profile in the browser. Oh, enter the password. Oh shit. Refresh and try again. Well, shit. Fuck. I didn't realize. That's why we're not getting anybody over there. Yep, that's the reason why. Oh, fuck me. Okay, hold on, everybody. I gotta fix this. Let me go live over here first. Let me change the. This one normally gets people. Okay. Okay, so apparently I fucked up with the room link. Let me see if I can ping that up. Okay. Hey there, everybody over there on the TikTok. Please feel free to request up if you think either Jesus existed, if you don't think that God is a rapist, or that God supports slavery. Fix this. Hold on. There we go. Okay, let me customize. What do we got? What do we got here? Muted. Yeah, I think all that's good. Ask for display name. Okay. Copy link. Let me just update this link real quick because I feel like people were actually. You see. Okay. So I just updated the link. Let me see if it still gives me like, oh. Okay. Nope. Hey, if you would like to request up, please do. I'm trying to fix my my link here. Let's see, copy link. Customize. Oh. Sorry, hold on. I think I copied the wrong link. Let me try that. Let me try this again. Yep, there it goes. Okay. So let me do this, edit link, update. Okay, link is updated. So you should still be able to hit that link that's down there, and you should be able to request up if you would like to talk to me. Now, now that it's there. Why copy link? I'd copy Ganon, personally. Thank you so much there, Archradish. I appreciate you over there. Let's see. Hi to Arch. Vanilla. Apostate Primate. Stairway, which I know I muted you last time because you won't come up and talk. So many people. It says to say hi, so I'm just hitting the buttons to say hi. Hi! Hope you're doing well. Okay. I think that you should be able to. People over there on the YouTube, let's see. Wait, what is this? Oh, this is for M's.
Yeah. Somewhere on the internet again. Another apologist talking wild. Dr. M's report to the scene. Did someone post the M's bat signal again? Is there a Muslim on a call being ignorant? M's destroying life smooth like an AI voice mod. Destroying all 5 pillars with the voice like a god. Habibi, why you getting mad at me? Because your book teaches you fake anatomy. When M's gets on the call, it's like a rectal exam. Cause he knows the Quran like the back of his hand. You'll never see his face, but you're gonna hear his voice. Getting surgical on the hadith of your choice. Muslims getting cooked in English and Arabic by a medically trained ex-Muslim heretic. Gonna diagnose that cognitive dissonance that keeps you believing the Quran's nonsense. Did you say between the ribs and the backbone, bro? Sure. But that's a cell phone, bro. Blood clot gone and then into bones. You have no clue how an embryo grows. Just wait one beat, you're about to get owned. And M's cuts you down with the biology he knows. You think Your prophet split the moon, are you stupid? You probably also think he never screwed a kid. Miss me with your Muhammad. Police be upon him. Justice for Aisha. You'll never see his face, but you're gonna hear his voice. Getting surgical on the hadith of your choice. This one's getting cooked in English and Arabic by a medically trained ex-Muslim heretic. Did someone post the M's bat signal again? Looks like another apologist needs attention. Dr. M's has entered the chat.
So sorry. It seemed to be really low. Let's see, we finally got somebody in over here on the Video Ninja after I unfucked it. So I'll see if I can get that fixed there, Rainbow Ash. But anyways, we've got Earth over here. Hey there, Earth. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing pretty good. What are your pronouns?
He, him.
He, him. Yeah, hold on.
And yourself?
Oh, I'm he, him as well. Hold on. I think that I need to get, oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, hold on. I gotta fix your audio real quick for other people.
No worries. No.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, that was the problem. All right, here we go. I think that we're good now, except you're really loud, and I'm gonna fix that. Okay. All right, so
There we go.
Earth. Yep, you're good. Earth, he, him. What would you like to talk about today, there, Earth?
Well, one, the word God is a rank, not a name. If you're looking for the name for that great artist right there, that is Yalo Bailoff with a capital Y. Because they did that twice, they ended up losing that capital Y, became a lowercase y, and then they later on got divorced. Their name got changed to Ashtaroth.
Are you fucking with me?
No, not one bit. This is in the Hebrew literature.
Okay.
Outside the Bible, but still in the literature.
I don't understand. I guess I don't understand what are you talking about with the Y? Are you talking about like in Hebrew, or like what are you talking about?
We're using English, so we have to use the English spellings and the English letters, because obviously we're not speaking Hebrew, so we have to stick with the English.
No, but the original, like Yahweh is original, like that is a translation of a Hebrew word. So like,
Yalo Bailoff is not Yahweh. Those are two different people.
Where does it say Yalo Bailoff?
That you would have to go to the original Hebrews instead of going through the Bible, because the Bible doesn't have all of the literature.
So you're all over the place there, bud. Because you're talking about how we have to go with the translation, but then we also have to go back to the original Hebrew. Like, I don't understand that distinction there.
A different variation on enunciation is Yalba Bailoff. The one has a D, the other one don't.
You say go back to Hebrew. What Hebrew document are you talking about here?
In this particular instance, it would be Eve's book.
Eve's book? What's the title of that?
Okay, well, you've heard of Eve, Okay, well, she had her own book. Adam, her husband, he had his own book, and they had shared book.
What is the name of the book?
The Book of Eve.
The Book of Eve. Okay.
No, there's a bunch of knockoff stuff on Google. You're actually going to have to go through the one that is coming through the Hag Narabi Library. It used to be called the
Nag
Sophia
Hammadi
Cathedral Library.
Are you talking about the
This
Nag
is where
Hammadi
the
library?
library from the Holy of Holies went to after it left Jerusalem.
Do you mean the Nag Hammadi library?
Same thing as the Sophia Cathedral, yeah. Same building.
When was the Book of Eve written?
according to the book, with Eve's own hand. Now, of course, it's had to have been copied because paper don't last that long. And you have to make copies of old stuff so they don't just disappear.
Let's see. The gospel. Are you talking about the Gospel of Eve?
There's lots of different names for lots of different things. I'm talking about the Book of Eve. Somebody else
No.
have
There
it
is
listed
no.
on
So
Google.
hold on, Earth. There is no Book of Eve. There is no Book of Eve. There's a Gospel of Eve. Is that what you mean?
I mean, lots of people say gospels and books are a very synonymic.
This is
way
the
of
title.
expressing the
This is the
concept.
title of the text, the Gospel of Eve. If that's what you're talking about, it is a lost Gnostic text that was known through only a 4th century heresiologist, Epiphanius, and it only survives solely as 2 brief quotation in his Panarion 26, where he denounces it as scripture used by Borobite sect and Ophite or Gnostic group. Epiphanius reports that some attributed the text to Eve and supposedly to the discoverer of the food of knowledge by revelation of the serpent that spake to her, a deliberate inversion of the Genesis fall. So you're trying to pass off a 4th century book as something that was written prior to the Bible.
If somebody recorded it in the 4th century, doesn't mean he invented it in the 4th century, unless you're saying that recorder is a liar for
what I'm
recording
saying
the
is,
existence of the book.
hold up. What I'm saying is, technically what I'm saying is that the only reference that we have to it is in the 4th century by Epiphanius. We don't have any references to it before then, it seems. And so because we don't
references, you ready?
Huh?
You ready? Here's your reference. According to the Hebrew laws, when it comes to the high priest going into the holies of holies to read for 1 hour per year, there's a whole library in there. Okay, that library got evacuated from Jerusalem. It found its way up in Turkey, and it's sitting there. Most of it's been digitized already. It's available online for free in a PDF.
What are you talking? Well, I don't understand what library you're talking about here. Jaden over there on TikTok, I will let you up. Just give me a little bit to interact with this particular topic. Okay.
It has multiple names. The Library of the Holy of Holies, the Library of Melchizedek, the Library of Abraham, the Library of Noah from On the Ark. You know, the Great Flood, not the box.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How can we know when those books were written? Like, when you're not giving me anything about this, can you give me some kind of way that I can triangulate this library, like when it was and everything?
Sure. You've heard of the books of Enoch, right? They were on the ark with Noah during the flood.
How do we know that? So I'm immediately questioning this because there was no global flood. There was no global flood. Noah didn't exist. There was no boat.
The archaeology has already proven it.
Archaeology has? Where's the archaeology that's proven the flood?
In the archaeological record, you dig down and there it is.
Jesus Christ, could you please quit being so fucking vague with the evidence? Could you just give me the evidence that you're talking about here? What archaeological evidence?
Am I supposed to be a wiki page for you?
You're the one that mentioned it. Like, for instance, if I say Jesus never existed, he was. Oh, hold on. If I tell you that Jesus never existed and that he was a pre-existent archangel figure that was identified by Jewish Jewish rabbis in the 1st century and having a bunch of different specific things that were later on identified as Jesus by Paul, I can give you the exact citation for that. Philo of Alexandria on the confusions of tongues. Hold on.
Yes, that was Jesus Christ.
What?
And that is also Yahweh.
I'm sorry, what?
Michael of Nemedon, Michael, the chief of the archangels, his 7th incarnation as a mortal creature was as Emmanuel Maccabees. That is the tax ID name for the man known as Jesus Christ.
Oh my
the
God!
High King
I'm not going to let you get off on the whole archaeological evidence.
Did not exist. You're right.
No, listen. Stop. I need you to stop. I need you to stop right now. Please stop. Please fucking stop. I will mute you. I don't like
Charles
muting
III
people. You're just not fucking stopping talking, so that's why I've muted you right now, and I will unmute you when I feel when I feel like it. Now, I want to get back to this archaeological evidence for the global flood. You're just vaguely mentioning it without actually giving me specific citations for it. So let's reset ourselves to this flood thing, right? Because you're claiming that these books, hey there, Skog, you're claiming that these books were on Noah's Ark. We have no evidence of Noah's Ark. We have no evidence of Noah. We have no evidence of a global flood. You say that there's archaeological evidence for that. I want to know what that archaeological evidence is. Before we get to the other crazy shit that you're talking about, please, let's just stick with this particular point. Now, I'm going to unmute you, but I desperately need you to just give me the archaeological evidence for the flood. You're unmuted.
On air, at the base of it, right down the hill from the Ark, is a information kiosk put there by the Turkey government. At that kiosk, they will give you directions to the Ark. They will give you directions to the village of 8. They will also give you directions to where they dug up Gilgamesh, called Noah.
No. So that's not actually proving that those things existed. They're using probably really bad information from possibly Ron Wyatt.
Ur exists because we got the ruins for it. Gaza exists because we all saw it, even though it's got bombed and leveled out by the sons
we have
of Cain
fucking pictures of Gaza before the United States had Israel bomb it, or Israel bombed it. Or, sorry, I can't say that.
Palestine's been on maps more than 10 times the age of the United States.
I don't care. None of this actually proves that the Ark was found.
It's right there on Ararat. You can get a tour. You can even go inside of it right now.
No, it is not. It is not on Mount Ararat. That is not something that. God, I hope your battery dies soon.
But it is.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
That is not true. No, that's not true.
It doesn't mean the Parthenon doesn't exist.
What? No. You can go to the Parthenon.
You didn't touch George Washington doesn't mean he doesn't exist.
What? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there is no ship. There is no Noah's Ark is not a ship. No, it is not on Mount Ararat. There is no ship on Mount Ararat.
A tour of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon doesn't mean they didn't exist.
I don't know what evidence we have the hanging. You're just doing a bunch of whataboutism about other historical things and places.
Thing existed or not. Your subjective POV does not matter.
I'm tired of this. Jaden, if you want to come up, feel free to come up. There we go.
I mean,
I got a friend Jaden that's going to hand you your ass on this whole Gnostic shit.
Does not change if a thing exists or not. Your belief does not change if a thing exists or not.
No, listen, Earth, I'm saying that we don't have any evidence. Jesus Christ, Earth.
You don't have to believe in the Holocaust.
Earth, we don't have any evidence of the fucking Ark. Okay, I'm tired of yelling. And I'm tired of you not knowing how to have a conversation. Now, I brought my friend Jaden up here, and he would like to say a few things about this Gnostic bullshit that you've been talking about. So now I'm going to unmute you, Earth. Let's have a conversation. Hi there, Jaden.
Yeah. When you were speaking about Jesus there, that seemed really confused, because from my understanding of the Gnostics, what you're referencing is not at all how they looked at who Jesus was, right? Like, and especially when you brought up the Book of Eve, I've never even heard of that. But when you made that reference to the revelation of the snake, are you trying? Like, I've heard of that. I don't know if there's any actual Gnostic text that lines up with that, but what you're saying doesn't seem to be at all aligning with what I've studied about the Gnostics, and you seem to be mixing a lot of other books into this one big grand idea.
Yeah, because the Hebrew is a very large religion. It's not limited to just one collection of books.
We're not saying that.
That's not what I'm trying to get at with that. I'm trying to say that you're making this comparison with the Book of Enoch, and then taking that with a bunch of other books.
The Book of Enoch in the New Testament. Multiple different prophets quote the Book of Enoch. Yeah, the Book of Enoch is all over the Bible. Direct quote.
Yeah. Can you provide me a piece of scripture for that?
Yeah, you can go right there on Google. Jim and I will be more than happy to pull it up for you.
So Earth, hold on. I need to correct something here. The contention that I had wasn't that the Book of Enoch exists or that it is read and adhered to by some people. My contention was whether or not the Book of Enoch records anything accurate. And then you also brought up this whole idea that it was on the ark. Okay, so those are the claims that were made, and you have yet to substantiate any of those
claims. Those are the claims that history already provides.
No, those were claims that you made. There's no evidence. There's no historical evidence that proves those claims. You're going to need to provide that.
How much did you actually study the Hebrew religion? Or did you limit yourself only to the one sect called Christianity, or the one sect called Islam, or the one sect called Judaism?
Well, those are Abrahamic. Those are Abrahamic. They're not necessarily... Those are Abrahamic ones.
You ever bothered to learn about the original Hebrew Canaan pantheon, including the fact that Melchizedek was the high priest for Yahweh, and it was the kingdom of Melchizedek that Abraham inherited, that is called Palestine, because Abraham changed the name from Canaan. Isaac didn't get anything.
I have no fucking clue as to what you're talking about
Palestine,
right now.
because Jacob is the one that named Palestine.
What?
Yeah. The entire Bible is the national history book of Palestine, including the fact that Noah himself laid the first brick of Gaza. Noah himself died in Gaza, and he was buried under the ark on Arab.
This is a fever dream right now. Is that right? I mean, I feel like this is crazy, right?
You limited yourself.
This is a problem.
You didn't obey Jesus and seek until you found it. It's not my fault you didn't knock.
What?
No, okay. So first of all, Earth, so you're speaking about from a very traditionalist view of the text that you're talking about, in that this, and I see this with flat earthers a lot. You're muted, by the way. Earth, that is. And I see this a lot with flat earthers, is that they treat like the older the text is, the more true it is in some kind of sense. And like, I feel like that's the route that you're going there, Earth, is that, oh, these are older texts. And so because they're older texts, they're more representative of reality. Am I hitting like your methodology or anything like that? Like, am I hitting that right?
No, I'm simply stating that the books exist, and I'm pointing at the books for you to learn, like reading Rainbow. Don't take my word for it. 100%.
So I have to keep muting you. You're telling me that you're pointing me to the books, and I get that the books make a claim, but that does not mean that the claims that are made by the books are accurate to reality, right? So what I need from you right now is to provide me with the evidence that solidifies that these books are part of reality. Like, they represent reality. They comport with reality. That's what I need from you.
Sure. Let's start at Judges chapter 2, verses 10 through 15, when the Sanhedrin records the Israelites as worshiping Ashtaroth and Baal. Let's go back to Genesis chapter 10, verses 3 through 5, when Moses testifies that the real Ashkenazi are islanders. And obviously Ukraine, Germany, and Poland are not islands. Eastern Europe is not an island. Therefore, Ashkenazi Jews don't exist, because white people are not islanders.
I don't...
That's just the way it is. There is no such thing as Ashkenazi Jew. It doesn't exist.
No, there definitely are Ashkenazi Jews.
The claim that they exist is blasphemy against Moses, because it's claiming that people from the Caucasus mountain ranges foothills, called the Khazarians, are islanders, because they took the name Ashkenazi. It wasn't their name to take.
I don't understand this.
Themselves are actually the Anasazi that got nuked by ancient India.
Okay, Earth, I'm going to give you one last shot. All you're doing is gish galloping, making claims. And all I need you to do is provide me evidence that these claims are true. You just consistently spouting more and more claims does not substantiate your claims. And just saying these books say a thing does not establish your claims as representative of reality. So how do you know that these books represent reality accurately? How do you know that these books aren't just bullshitting?
Because the entire Bible told you to be ready to fight against the fake Jews from Revelation 2:9 and Revelation 3:9.
Okay, sorry, I'm done.
I, that was yeah, that's a big problem that you're gonna run into with current Gnostics is they have this very big appeal to mixing history, and I've never understood why. Like even his first sentence about Yahweh and Yahweh, I can't fucking pronounce it, isn't true by any means. They viewed the Yahweh to be Yahweh.
Yeah. You gonna stay up here for a little bit there, Jaden?
Yeah, if that's fine with you.
Yeah, we haven't been having too many people. We got Alec though up here right now. Hey there, Alec. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, brother? I used to be an agnostic atheist for most of my life, so I used these above reasons to not support theism back in the day.
Okay, cool. What are your pronouns?
He, him.
Cool, awesome. All right, so which one do you want to tackle? Do you have a favorite up there?
I don't like any of these, to be honest, because they're really hard to substantiate. If we're being honest, theists, these are hard to substantiate. But
like you're talking about the counter to them is hard to argue against, or you
with
saying
things
that,
outside of
okay.
With things outside of the Bible. If they they're just going to throw a Bible and you're going to say, okay, how do you know that's correct from the Bible? And then they're going to go, la, Bible says, and then you're going to get lost in that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, do you think that that's true for like God being a grapist?
No, I think that the text can be incorrect. It's not perfect. Only God's perfect. Therefore, the book is not God.
Okay, but is the book inspired by God?
Yeah, but it still came through fallible, imperfect, error-making men, even if they were prophets.
Okay. What do you believe about the conception of Jesus?
There's a lot I could say. So you mean like his actual birth, or what are you referring to?
About when he was conceived.
I could say a lot about that. I think that, you know how we do have virgin births all over the world now happening through science?
Virgin in what way? You're talking about
Like they never had they never had physical relations, penetration without the P.
Okay. But we're not talking about normal reproduction though.
I thought it was, though. I believe it was normal reproduction, but by the Holy Ghost involved.
Well, right. But I mean, you would, okay. But so my contention for the conception, regardless of whether it was sexless or not, is that God graped Mary.
So if a woman agrees to be a surrogate, is that grape?
No, because there's consent. There was no consent in God telling Mary that she's going to be pregnant.
That would be dishonest, brother, because she said, "Let it be according to thy word. I'll be your handmaiden."
So technically, it's the handmaiden part is slave. So I am your slave. Let your word be done unto me. That's acquiescence. Do you know what it means to acquiesce?
I know we're splitting hairs here, but I get the point.
We're really not. This is actually very important to the concept of consent. How well do you understand consent?
I don't really like to get in these conversations because it goes into philia garbage.
Philia? What does that mean?
You can't say certain words on TikTok. It gets into
because she was 14 years old and it was really gross, right? Gotcha.
Or 12, even some accounts.
Between 12 and 16, it just kind of depends, but yeah. So why
Indeed.
Do you think it was wrong for God to do that to a 12-year-old?
So we're applying modern morals. So according to our modern morals, it's wrong.
So you're saying that it was good at one time to impregnate children.
So you see, we're regarding children as being of that age. That's a modern sensibility. I think it's not a fair adjustment.
Would you call a 12-year-old a full-grown adult in the first century?
I don't want to take either way. if I'm being honest, because I don't like to talk about this subject. I think it's scary. I don't like it.
No, what? I'm sorry. Like, why? Why though? Because it kind of makes it seem like you're perfectly fine with 12-year-olds being impregnated by an all-powerful God.
See, I'm just gonna repeatedly say I'm not comfortable with this subject. Can we not?
Yeah. Okay. So you
it
see,
appears to be.
yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Jaden.
You can go ahead. No. It's no problem. You can go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, it seems like you understand fries when it comes to whether or not you want to have a conversation, but not when you read Luke 1. So, what would you like to pivot to? What are you comfortable talking about?
Slavery, horrible as it is.
Oh, okay, cool. So let's talk about slavery. What kind of slavery? Chattel slavery or sexual slavery?
I don't think God would support either one.
He directly commands both.
I know in the Old Testament, in the book, that's what seems to be the case, but I think the book is flawed. So
Okay.
no holds on me.
So was Jesus wrong then?
Where did Jesus support chattel, or I think the other one is mentioned by Paul, of course.
Yeah, if you wanna, I'm pretty sure you're already pulling up the verse, but Matthew 5:17 through 19 is Jesus directly supporting the Torah. And what's in the Torah? Chattel slavery, sexual slavery.
Did he say every single word of the Torah is perfect and from God? No.
Well,
But
okay,
these
so
are
what he
commandments
says,
from God.
Doesn't matter.
well, what he says is, do not think I've come to abolish the law or the prophets. I've not come to abolish, but to fulfill. For truly I tell you, until heaven and earth pass away, not one letter, not one stroke of a letter will pass from the law until all is accomplished. Then he continues on to say, therefore, whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven, but whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So it's very obvious. Sure. Yeah. So what do you think the commandments are that he's talking about there?
Well, we believe that Jesus was the one who gave the law. So
Okay.
the commandments he gave, but doesn't mean they're perfect. They could still be messed up.
This is a really, like, okay, so God is perfect, right? And clearly we see that he's having unperfect moments. So I'm very confused on your stance here. It just appears to be you're looking at certain moments in the Bible and saying, I don't like that, and you're just throwing it away.
No, you're saying that the Bible's perfect. I don't worship a book. The book is not perfect.
I'm not trying to say that the Bible is perfect, but it's supposed to be representative of your whole religion.
It's necessary for your point for these things to be actual as they're recorded. I'm saying that I don't hold them all to be perfectly as they are recorded.
So was Jesus wrong here?
What I'm saying is that the text could be wrong. I think Jesus was correct when he spoke.
Right. So the commandments that we're referencing here, as far as like God is a rapist and God supports slavery, those are referencing the same laws that Jesus is referencing here. So I guess I'm just not understanding your position there, Alec.
Your position requires that those events actually happened as they are recorded, and I am saying that they could be incorrect. I even say that some of them are incorrect, straight up.
Okay, that's fine, but then you would have to agree that Jesus is wrong here. So which one is it?
No, I'm saying when Jesus spoke, he spoke correctly. His recordings of his words could be wrong, and are wrong in many places.
Okay, so you think, okay, so maybe not Jesus the person is wrong, but you're saying that this text here is wrong.
I believe that the text is not perfect. That's the main thing.
Is in this section, is Jesus, is this an incorrect regurgitation of what Jesus said?
So I don't have the authority to say that, but I do think that this implies that it's perfect, and that's wrong, should I say.
Pretzels in the chat.
Oh, so Jesus was wrong.
No! Stop jumping to leaps of logic. It's a fallacy.
I'm not jumping any leaps of... I mean,
yes, you are.
You've already contradicted yourself. You've clearly agreed with us. Oh, yes, you have. You said God was perfect, But now you're stating the law of non-contradiction. You've stated that God was perfect, and now we're showing you unperfect actions within God supporting slavery, and we
How many
mentioned what
times-
types. And then
How
you're
many
running
times do I have
away
to say
from
the
it
Bible's not
saying,
perfect?
and then
Right.
you're running away from it saying,
No. How many times do I have to say the Bible's not perfect? And you're going to try and drag me back. No, Bible perfect. What
right.
the heck?
Okay. Alec. So I guess the problem that we kind of run into when we get into this whole the Bible's not perfect thing, even though God, definitely says, at least in
Then believe in God.
Huh?
Then believe in God. If he did this, then say the text says, please.
Say the text says. Okay.
Or if it's God, you believe in God, which you don't.
Yeah.
So just
No,
say
no,
the
no.
text
You know what?
says.
So I can say that God says this in the book, right? So in the book, the character God says these things. Now the problem is that what's your methodology? Maybe I can ask you this. What's your methodology for discerning the true statements in the Bible from the false statements or the incorrect or not so perfect statements?
Certainly. So
and
we can
also
know-
just
Go ahead,
real
go ahead.
quick, you do have a spammer in chat. I don't know if you have any moderators in here at the moment, but Stairway to Heaven has been spamming the chat for a little
Yeah.
while now.
I got it. All right, got him. Thanks, Jaden. Anyways, go ahead, Alec. Your methodology.
So you can. What I did is when I was an agnostic atheist, I said this book is either a bunch of garbage,
Mhm.
crazy people, or it's from a God, which would mean the smartest way to live. So what I did is I tested what I could. What I could test, I tested, and I got results from it. I applied the scientific method because I didn't want to go to church anymore. I was biased against it. I was gonna be like, I'm gonna do these things. I'm gonna be miserable. That's gonna be my evidence. I'm never gonna go to church again, and my family can just go away with this God stuff. But I tested it, and over, I got good results. But that's not enough. You can't just know just from how you feel or your peace or whatever the theists say. That's not enough. I don't care what they say. You have to actually know by other results too. It has to be logical, I would say even.
Well, so you invoked the scientific method there. I'm just wondering if you can kind of illuminate what you mean by the scientific method and what you tested.
Sure. So you have your hypothesis, and then the hypothesis is there's no God and all this church stuff is a bunch of garbage and crazy people. How do I test that? I need to have an unbiased test. So you follow what they say this book says is from God, and then do the opposite, and you do that in an environment that you don't have other factors that can give you false results because they affect the outcome. So like prayer, I tried that talking to myself. I tried not talking to myself. I just viewed it as talking to myself. I tried it for a week with prayer, week without prayer, and I just tried to get results. And I recorded things down, and I got good results from praying. And I thought, whatever people do, mantras, voodoo, meditations, same thing. I don't care. And so I just kept doing that kind of test, and I kept getting good results, and it kept being consistent, and it baffled me.
So there are 16 verses in the Bible spanning both New and Old Testament that says that you should probably not test God. So like, why are you testing God?
I'm not testing God himself. I'm not saying God make this rock turn to gold or you're not a god. I'm actually saying God said to do this. I'm going to try what he said.
Okay. And how do you feel about the passage? I believe it's in Psalm that says, don't trust your own understanding, lean on God's understanding.
Yeah. Yeah, I said, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not to your own understanding. That's what I was doing. I was saying, this is either words of crazy people or a God, and I'm going to test it. So this is not my understanding, it's theirs. So I'm going to try that and see what happens.
Right, but so you haven't really told me like what you tested. Can you give me an example of what you tested?
Prayer. I mentioned prayer, talking to yourself. How is talking to myself going to do anything?
Okay. Well, so you mentioned prayer. Okay.
Yes.
What can you give me an example of a test you ran with prayer?
So I tried talking to God in the name of Jesus Christ. I tried praying to Allah. I tried praying to Hindu gods. I tried pagan gods. I tried everything I could, and I just recorded the results down. The Christian gods seemed to have better efficacy.
In what way?
So I felt more peace. Things seemed to be better, even though like my life didn't change, but things seemed better with Christianity. I couldn't quantify it though.
Yeah, and also I do want to apologize, GE. I haven't debated in a while. I've been on a break, so I am being a little bit feisty here. But
All good.
I do want to ask, right? When you mentioned a law and everything, it kind of seems to me like, when you were doing these so-called tests, did you actually have your mind open to them, right? Like there wasn't any form of bias towards these gods, or was there a certain bias that you had that I'm pretty certain that you did have towards the Christian God compared to them?
I was biased against all of them because I was like, these are controllers. I don't want to be controlled. I want to do whatever I want. I wanted proof against him so I could say, I tried your Allah God. I don't have to believe him. I tried your Jesus God. I don't have to believe him. I tried your Buddha God. I tried your Hindu God. I wanted to be able to say that to these people, and it backfired on me.
Well, so how did you control for the fact that you grew up in a Christian culture, and so you identified more with the Christian religion, and that could explain why you felt more at peace or had better results with Christianity?
So like with Jaden, I tried to eliminate bias. I tried my best to try that honestly and just be genuine and be like, again, same test, not different tests with different gods, same test. Pray to them. I didn't vary it. That's what I tried, but I know that it was still present, my upbringing, so I couldn't totally eliminate it, of course.
So what do you say about the actual scientific tests out there that they did on heart surgery patients, where they had a control group, which is how you properly do a scientific experiment, by the way. You have a control group that isn't prayed for, and then you have a couple of other groups that are told at varying levels that they're being prayed for. And the groups that were told that they were being prayed for did worse in their after surgery care than the ones that weren't told that they were being prayed for. So how do you explain those situations? Because those are real results, whereas you know, you're just saying, oh, I felt better.
I've heard of this, actually. I've heard of this exact thing. How I would do a copy cope is, it wasn't the Lord's will that this person do better. So you can't apply it that way, is what I would say.
You're gonna really hate me for this, but do you say the same thing for the kids that are graped by priests and pastors all over the world?
I don't hate you for that. I think it's vile, but I think that it's really a difficult thing. Like, why do these things happen? This still bugs me to this day. It still does bother me. So I don't really have a good answer.
Yeah, but you have to contend with the fact that, you know, if God does answer prayers, which he says that he does in the New Testament, you know, ask and ye shall receive, knock and the door shall be opened. And kids pray while they're being violated by these priests and pastors, and God either ignores them or says, nope, this is what I want for you.
I've seen both. I've seen, like, I knew someone personally who they were abducted as a child, pulled in someone's car, and they prayed, and for them, they commanded them in the name of Christ to stop, and the man recoiled, and then she said, drive me home now, and he drove her home. So it's not consistent through everyone, because, you know, everyone's prayers, I believe they're all heard. It doesn't mean everyone has those experiences.
I think that's bullshit.
Again, I don't. That's okay. I understand. You're from an atheist point of view. I totally understand.
No. I'm just talking about from a you know, a claims point of view. Like, sure. you're telling me that a guy kidnapped somebody and they prayed in the name of Jesus, they recoiled and then followed their commands like that. Yeah. I don't know.
I get it. No, I totally understand. No, I totally get it. It's totally subjective. It's a total claim. I understand. I'm just giving it as another. You gave one claim, you know, they pray, nothing happens. I gave you the opposite claim.
Okay. No, that's not actually proven though. Like, I've got an actual study about it, and like, I understand. And you can watch the documentary Maxima Mea Culpa and Silence in the House of the Lord. It's a documentary out there. You can watch that, and there's a certain part in it where it talks about how kids are praying to God to get them to stop the priests, you know, graping them, and that God just doesn't stop. And so, like, but you're trying to tell me that God selectively chooses when to stop priests from raping kids?
I would be amiss to say that God stops this and doesn't stop that, because we can literally observe it happening. So again, I really don't have a good answer for it, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, here's the thing, all right? You're kind of in this pickle right now where it's either you have to willingly admit that God is, so in my opinion, you have three options here, right? Because
Okay.
in my eyes, a perfect God would not allow this by any means, right? There shouldn't be this picking, choosing, but that seems to be the situation that we're in. And you're kind of getting away from GE's point here with prayer. It appears to be that the selective group is in the majority. So my question now becomes, why is it that the majority group appears to be ignored while your prayers are simply being answered?
My prayers are not all answered. No, I think, again, it's either according to the Lord's will or it's not, but I think he does not will sin, like these awful things happening, so I don't really have a good answer.
So you have to understand how this is a little bit difficult to have a discussion on this, because it kind of seems like you're just willing to hand wave away everything that doesn't.
I'm not hand waving.
It definitely feels like hand waving. How are you not hand waving it away?
I'm appealing to my lack of knowledge and understanding. I don't know everything. So you could take it as me conceding. Take it as a concession even.
Right. Well, I mean that would just be personal incredulity, right?
Well, yeah, because I don't know everything. So that's it's a bad response, but it's all I got. I don't know everything about it.
Right. I mean, I would agree that it's kind of a bad response, primarily just because of the fact that you're saying, oh, well, I don't know, but yet you still believe in this God, even though you seem to not have enough evidence to warrant that belief.
I have tons of evidence. I have an absurd amount of evidence. That's why I still believe. I've tried to run from him all my life, and I've even been like, screw you, you've let all this stuff happen in my life. Why should I believe in you at all? But I keep getting evidence, and it just keeps compounding, and I just can't I can't be agnostic anymore. I can't do it.
And so here, I guess here's the difference between me and you, is that even if we were to assume that this God exists, the pure fact that kids pray to have their rapist stop and God doesn't do it, that immediately would tell me everything I needed to know about that God. Because if I was in that position, I would definitely stop that situation. Like, I no question about it. And if I was an omnipotent God, I would pop into existence, punch him in the dick, and then pop out of existence anytime anybody thought about raping an individual, whether that's a child or an adult person. So
I understand.
Yeah. And the fact that God doesn't do that now, because it's not affecting free will, you still have free will to think about raping a person and get punched in the dick. You can still do that. So I'm just saying, like, the fact that God doesn't do that now seems to indicate to me that he's not even worthy of worship, and also not worthy of belief.
And I get that too, but I will just push back a little bit by saying that would be oppression. If you were because then he'd have to punch you for everything.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he already requires some mundane things in his law code that you seem to want to deny, which we don't even know what exactly. So maybe we can wrap this up here with how do you even know, like, what God wants from us? How can you know that?
That's a good question. So again, I'm going to give you another bad response, okay? Because I tested the words of the scriptures and they seemed mostly true. I had one final thing that I read from Christ when I was an agnostic, and he said, if any man will do his will, his being God's will, if any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of God or whether I speak my own words. So that's one of the reasons why I tested it, because I wanted to know. I wanted to prove him wrong. I'm saying, I'll do these things and I won't know, and then you're wrong, Jesus. But I did them, and now I know that they had good results. I couldn't deny it.
Okay. I don't know. Jaden, you got anything left?
Yeah, I think it appears to be that you're questioning your beliefs to an extent, but then you seem to be backfiring. Like, how are you even, like, how do you know God or Jesus ever even said anything? Like, since we're kind of in this scenario where we're allowing God's existence, How do you know he said anything, did anything?
Because I tested his words, and they have supernatural effects. I've tested people who were atheists. I've tested philosophies of men. They don't have the same results. It's completely parenthetical. You can compare them directly.
But there's no like the super like the whole idea of a supernatural thing means that it exists outside of reality and is therefore not testable by science. So can you understand my skepticism here?
I totally can, actually.
Okay. All right. Well, Alec, it was really great talking to you. I do have somebody else requesting up that I want to get to, but yeah, I appreciate you. I hope you'll follow me if you don't already, and we can have further discussion in the future.
Thank you. I'm glad I could show at least one Christian doesn't crash out on you.
Yeah. No, thank you. All right.
Thank
you. Have a good night there, Alec.
You too. Have a good one.
Also, I will be doing possibly at least a live on Friday or Saturday if you want to end up showing up.
Okay. Yeah. Either day I could probably show up, but I'll keep a lookout. I usually get. I think I got you set on alerts, so I'll definitely be looking out for that. I do have to say that I think that was that actually you in the second video that you posted on your YouTube?
Oh, are you referring to the misconception of atheism, that video I made?
I think so. It's one where somebody's playing God in it, right?
Oh, no. I made that with a collaboration with Faithless Devotions and Broken Tree Branch. You've talked to Broken. I don't know if you've ever talked to Faithless, but Faithless is a great content creator. He does kind of like these role-playing videos. I'll send over his account to you, but it's fucking awesome. I would always suggest you go check him out.
Definitely. Thanks. Because I thought that was a good video. All right, so we're gonna get Belarusa up here, maybe.
Oh, they've been wanting to come.
Oh my goodness! Finally, hello.
Hi. How do you say your name, by the way?
You can just call me Belle.
Belle. Okay. Hey, Belle.
Yeah.
What are your pronouns?
She, her.
Cool. So what would you like to talk about?
Well, let's just, I see the prompt. I was hearing the other conversation for a bit. Don't agree with that guy on a lot of things. But Jesus didn't exist. Okay, so let's start with that. Would you agree that Genghis Khan existed?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you believe that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you believe Alexander the Great existed?
Yep.
Okay. Do you realize that there's over 25,000 manuscripts that prove the existence of Jesus Christ, and there are 6,000 that prove the existence of Genghis Khan, and even less to prove Alexander the Great? So
I deny.
Where's the...
No. So the 25,000 are copied manuscripts. They're not like firsthand eyewitness accounts, and they're obviously not independent accounts. So like when we're talking about accounts of somebody existing, we're wanting independent like accounts of them existing. So which of the 24,000 are independent accounts and not just copies?
Sure. Well, we can go to the literal Bible, which were written by some of the apostles.
No, they weren't written by apostles, nor disciples, because I don't think the disciples existed either. But they weren't written by apostles.
So who were they written by?
We don't know. They're anonymous.
Okay, so so that's not really tracking, right? Because you're refuting what's been established by the Catholic Church.
The Catholic Church, the ones that fucks kids?
Yeah, the one founded by the disciple Peter.
Yeah, the one that fucks kids.
That's why we have, but that's why we have the Catholic Church. Do you know how the Catholic Church started? I'm not Catholic, but anyway, so I don't really have a problem with what you're saying. But if the disciples didn't exist, so tell me how the Catholic Church started.
I mean, the Catholic Church was established like sometime in like, what was it, the 4th century or something like that? So I mean, just a whole bunch of people got together and they Wrong? Okay.
Yeah, wrong.
Why don't you tell me?
It was established by the disciple Peter.
No, I mean, not the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is something very specific. If you're talking about Christian religion, then I would agree that Peter was probably the first one to establish some kind of organized effort, but not the Catholic Church.
Oh, well, you just said that the disciples don't exist, and now you just agreed that Peter established the church. So, do you agree that he exists or not?
No. So Peter is a apostle, not a disciple.
He was a disciple as well. Yes.
No, he was not. There were no disciples.
He
I don't believe in
was
disciples.
literally a disciple. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm-
Oh, hold on.
But-
When it comes to the disciples, the four names that you're probably thinking of, those were given to them by Irenaeus, right? These aren't their original names. We have no idea who they are, and me and him may have a differing view on this. I am under the impression of a view that I do want to talk to you about later on, but I want to go back to the manuscript claim because it appears to be that's what's heavily being implemented here. You do understand that we have external evidence for people like Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great. Like we literally have statues of Alexander the Great. We have coins with his face. And just
we
because
have
there's
Pontius Pilate's ring, we have the Shroud of Turin, we have
Shroud of
also
Turin's
evidence.
not. The Shroud of Turin is not. It's a what 13th, 14th century art piece.
Actually wrong. That's because it was carbon dated in the 70s. So I invite you to actually update your information. But recently they did. It was. How do I say it? Not refurbished. What's that word? I'm blanking.
Repaired?
Like restored. Sorry,
Restored?
restored. It was restored in the medieval times. Yes, but
No,
they
no,
tested
you-
and they tested a piece that was restored recently.
No.
There's been.
No, you're wrong about that. I know the thing that you're talking about here. Are you talking about the X-ray chromatography? Not chromatography, but
No,
X-ray.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about carbon dating.
Oh, okay.
So it was
where's the
carbon
report
dated
on
in the
this?
70s. I can get that for you. Pass me your phone. It's like you're literally citing the study and you're telling me you don't know where it is. That's interesting.
No. I didn't actually cite you a study. Like I mentioned there's an X-ray study out there, which I can get you
It's
the title.
carbon dating.
Huh?
It was carbon dating, not X-ray. X-ray doesn't date a piece to a time frame.
There's a
right, so that's called carbon dating.
There's a very specific like method of X-ray method that they use for it. I don't know. I'm just telling you like what the study is, and it's a study that comes to your conclusion. By the way.
Anyways, okay, so here we go. Okay, so you're talking about the 1988 test, which is the radiocarbon dating, and that's not an X-ray. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's called carbon dating, and that dated it to 1260 to 1390 AD, right?
Okay.
And then-
So hold on, Belle. I just need to correct you real quick because you seem to be getting things confused here. My original claim about it being from the 14th century, 13th to 14th century, is definitely because of the carbon dating that was done at the time that you're talking about. I was talking about a newer study that was done on the shroud that used X-rays.
Can you get me that?
Huh?
Can you cite me your source for that, please?
Yes.
And you do know that there's been different tests on the Shroud of Turin, right?
100%.
Okay. And also, just a quick question. Do the Greek and Egyptian gods exist?
No, they're
But they have manuscripts as well.
Sure, but they're idols, right? That's our stance on it. Like,
Okay.
there's only one true God, and if you want to go that route, we can do the Kalam argument.
The according to you, manuscripts are evidence, right? If that's the case,
No, it
then
was an example of evidence.
but it was an example of evidence.
One
so it's
example of
still
evidence, right? And if you
In your
believe,
view-
based on manuscripts, that one person exists, then in turn you would also have to believe, because of manuscripts, that another person existed, right? So we believe
that's
Genghis
your
Khan,
position.
or what other evidence do we have for those people that we don't have
I'm
for
not
Jesus?
certain. I'm not certain about Genghis Khan. I haven't looked into him
Okay,
enough. But for
exactly.
Alexander the Great, I haven't looked into him enough. If you're gonna be
Or
condescending,
any other historical figure
okay, Alexander
from
the
that
Great.
time
We have
period.
statues. We have coins of his face. We also have his book.
There's some evidence for you of a book that he literally wrote. Is that enough for you?
For who, sorry?
You do Alexander the Great.
Alexander, there's no first-hand accounts of anyone that existed over 4,000 years ago, so that's incorrect.
What?
There's,
You're saying
there's
that?
literally no first. What book did he write? Let me see.
No. What book did who write?
Alexander the Great.
Well, no. So Alexander the Great didn't write any books, but there
Well, that's what this guy just said.
there. I don't think Jaden would have said that Alexander the
He
Great
just
wrote a
said
book.
that.
Oh no.
Okay, he literally just said that. Brian, did he not say that?
Hi, Brian.
I have somebody else right here.
Hi, Brian.
Yeah,
He said he literally wrote the book.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
No. Okay, hold on. Everybody, calm down. Let's calm down. First of all, Jaden, what did you say?
Yeah, I did say that he did write his own book because we have writings from him that have been put into a book. We have his writings.
Who? Alexander the Great?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know about those. What I do know about is we've got Arian that wrote a biography of him and used firsthand eyewitness accounting to write his biography about him. That's typically the route that I go for Alexander the Great. As far as the study goes for the Shroud of Turin, the study is called X-ray dating of a Turin shroud's linen sample. That's the official title of this. Yeah, it uses a method called Waxis.
Okay, let me see.
WAXS.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up here so I can check it
I was
out.
wrong on that. I was wrong on that.
Okay.
Yeah, we know.
Hey, there's Bell. Look, there's no need to be like that way. Okay, like he admitted that he was wrong about it, and that's that takes a lot to admit that you're wrong. So if you were to admit that you were wrong, I wouldn't make fun of you for it. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So I'm seeing the when was this study conducted?
It was recently. It was like 2024 or so, I think.
Let me see.
That's when they were starting to write like all of the I'm looking at the Catholic Herald right now that talks about it, and it was written in 2024, so it was probably done prior to that, like probably in 2023 or something.
Okay, so I'm seeing. Do you have the actual link about it? Because this is about ancient linen fabrics, and this is not specifically related to the Shroud of Turin. Or do you have like the actual link or study or anything? Because I can't find it.
Let's see.
Oh wait, no, I think I found it actually.
Okay.
Okay, so this was in 2022.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to read this over. But anyways, okay, so again, this is kind of the same. They took the same sample that they used in 1988, right? So this is really, it's a different study, but with the same sample. And the thing that we refute on that is that sample was taken from a part of the cloth that was restored during the medieval times, right? So again,
I don't see how you could get that. I don't see how you could get that from just a cursory glance at.
Oh, I have it right here. It literally, I have the study. So let me open my camera and show you. So it literally says abstract. On a sample of the Shroud of Turin, we applied a new method for dating ancient linen threads by inspecting their structural degradation by means of wide-angle X-ray scattering, Waxis. The X-ray dating method was applied to a sample of the Turin shroud, consisting of a thread taken in proximity of the 1988 radiocarbon area, corner of the Turin shroud corresponding to the feet area. So it's literally from the same. Like, this is the abstract. This is the study.
And what's the conclusion of the paper?
Well, obviously, it's the same results as the 1988 because they used the same sample. So it's not really a new study.
You're totally wrong about that. The Waxis study is what's being purported by like all of the theological institutions as proving that the Shroud of Turin traces back to the 1st century.
No, actually wrong. There's been 3D imaging studies as well, which
that
are
doesn't
more
prove me wrong.
accurate.
That has nothing to do with
Well,
what I just
it
said.
doesn't prove you right either.
No,
Like, there's
what proves me
the thing
right is
that-
you just continuing to read the Wax's study. The Wax's study, I'm sorry, this is not my claim. Like, I disagree with the Wax's study because the Wax's study says that under the right conditions, if you hold the right atmospheric temperature, the right humidity and everything like that, then obviously the Shroud of Turin dates back to the 1st century and is most likely dated to the location in which Jesus would have been, like the local area that Jesus would have been buried in. So there's a high probability that that this is actually the Shroud of Turin. I disagree with that because it requires very specific humidity. It requires specific environmental stuff in order to actually get those kinds of results. So like that's the entire that's the entire reason why I disagree with the Wax's study. The Wax's study is on your side.
I'm honestly not familiar with that. What I usually base it on is the recent 3D imaging, the negative 3D imaging study that was done. So basically, they took the Shroud of Turin and created a 3D image with the blood stains that are on the Shroud of Turin, right? And it came up to be a full man. So it is real. Again,
yeah, you can paint a full man.
Sure, but it's using negative imaging. You know, you can't really do that. Like that's not something
I'm
that.
pretty sure scientists in Spain replicated.
Okay, I'm
the
not going to
Shroud
do a
of
3 against 1 argument.
No,
like
hold
there's
on.
literally
So-
I'm the only opposition. That's not
I just had
fair.
one thing specifically about wax test dating. There is a reason why wax test dating is not used, like largely not used, unless we know the specific atmospheric conditions of an area. Because wax test dating, if first Google search on wax test dating, your contentions with it is largely assumption based. So, yeah,
Well, I don't know what.
that's.
I'm not even talking
that's all I
about
had
this
to say, so
argument.
goodbye.
This is not. I'm not refuting this
Right.
because I'm not familiar with this study. The thing that I'm talking about, what I use in my claim, is the negative 3D imaging. You can't do that. Like you can't reverse paint a person. Like
No, so no, I mean that's just saying that you can't. You need to prove that. But I do feel the need before we go forward. This is kind of been a 2-on-1 thing. Typically there's like a host and a co-host in these situations. But Belle,
no, this is fine. But when there's 3, that's like kind of too
okay.
much.
Well,
you know?
what Welsh just wanted to come up and give some clarity to something, and so that's why I let him up. But I'll
Okay.
Well, yeah, I was gonna ask you, Belle, if you want it to just be me and you, that's perfectly fine.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind that Jaden's here. He's super respectful and doesn't interrupt. The only thing is like when it's 3 against 1, I think that's too much personally.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
So, but anyways,
Okay,
so the Shroud of Turin though is you say that it can't, like, you can't paint the negative. Now you're fine there, Welsh biologist. I appreciated your input there, Welsh. Yeah, you say that you can't do these things, but there's actually been, hold on, I can bring up my, I did an extensive video on YouTube where I refuted like every single aspect of the Wax's study as well as other Shroud claims. But like there were actual artists that used paint methods in the 13th and 14th century to actually reproduce a similar image to the Shroud of Turin.
Oh, interesting. Either way, the Shroud of Turin isn't like, it is highly debatable. I'll concede with that. Like, it's not a solid, as of right now, there's no solid evidence with the Shroud of Turin. So I'll concede to that, but that was just one example of an artifact, a biblical artifact that proves Jesus's existence, because you brought up a statue of Alexander the Great, the coins. Okay, I brought up Pontius Pilate's ring, which nobody even believed he existed until this ring was discovered. He was solely mentioned in the Bible, right? So that correlates to Pontius Pilate.
Oh no. So Pontius Pilate, we've got the Pilate Stone, and that was kind of the first indication that we actually had a Pilate that existed in history. But I mean, we've also got Josephus that was writing about Pilate too, independent of like any of the gospel stuff. So, I mean, we've got far more evidence for Pilate than
When
we do
was that
Jesus.
from?
Which
When
one?
was that from? The writing that you talked about?
Oh, Josephus. It's Antiquities of the Jews, book 18.
Okay, but when was it written?
Like late first century.
Okay, so around the time when the Bible was written as well.
Right, but independent of the Bible, he was writing about Pilate.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna follow you because this is definitely interesting. And I'll be back. I'll be back a bit later.
Say
but I have to.
say hi to your partner. I don't. Sorry, boyfriend, husband. I'm not sure.
Yes, my boyfriend.
Boyfriend.
Yes. But actually, I'm reading Thomas Aquinas, so I'll probably come back and debate you on some of those topics.
Hey, anytime I'm live, feel free to request up. I'll try to get you up. Okay.
Awesome. Okay, take care.
See you.
I do also feel the need to kind of correct my own confusion there.
That's
I
good.
had gotten the official letter from like the official letters that were addressed to Greek cities, the copies of those as first account for Alexander the Great there. I do apologize for that.
You're good. I mean, yeah, I wasn't sure. Like, I hadn't heard of any firsthand accounts from Alexander. I just knew that we had firsthand accounts of like his generals. I think one of his sons is who Arian uses. So,
Yeah, I just got a confusion there.
that's cool. So I am. This is kind of the, I guess maybe the more of the community time of it, because I'm gonna have to get out of here in a second. Because we've been live for almost 3 hours now. Let's see, was it almost 2.5 hours? Yeah, Gretchen. What a nightmare! I totally agree. Hey there, Godwin. How you doing?
Hey, G. How are you, man?
Doing pretty good. What are you up to?
Well, I heard the last caller, and I always hear these scientific arguments. I have an argument against that Shroud of Turin that's not necessarily, I mean, it's scientific if you really think about it, but it's argument from art. So I've done a lot of art in my day, musician and artist, all this stuff. I'm not too crazy in the art, but I do know a lot of things about it. And if you were to take, I wanted to ask her to take a statue of face of Jesus, like maybe a crucifix from the Catholic Church, where you have a 3D face of Jesus. And then I want you to take some sort of a temporary ink, maybe food coloring, whatever, put it on that face, something that'll come off easy and not stain him. And then take a little piece of cloth or something, maybe a tissue, wrap it around his face, and then take it off and let it dry and see what it looks like when it's flat.
Yeah.
Because either Jesus had an unusually flat face or an unusually skinny face. Like, you know, very odd. I mean, that's not what it would come out looking like if his cheeks burned it in. That was just a face painted on a flat piece of cloth. That's
Right.
not what would happen if, you know, use ink and do it as a test. And then you won't have to worry about all the scientific stuff. You'll be like, oh, it was a fake. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, do you know what I'm talking about? The 3D face, the fact that
Yeah.
it wraps around, and it wouldn't come out looking like that at all. Everything would be distorted and wide.
It would be. And there was actually an artist, sometimes I want to say there was like maybe in the 80s or maybe the 90s or something like that, that actually used 13th and 14th century art methods in order to reproduce it. And essentially what they did was they reproduced it by very specific sort of way. I can't remember. I've got my thing, my notes up, but it's a very specific art style where it's kind of like acidic, so that it kind of not really burns into the fabric, but it eats a little bit into the fabric. But basically they cover a statue with some kind of chemical, and then they wrap it in it, and it imprints on it.
And did they do it as a test to see what it would really have looked like if Jesus actually?
Well, no,
Is
so
that what you're saying?
well, no, they were doing it as a test to see if the shroud could really be like representative of like a human that was wrapped up, you know? And so they were like, well, can we reproduce this with methods that were common in the 13th and 14th century? Because if you could do it with methods that were in the 13th and 14th century, then it's likely that it was just an art piece, right? Because that's when it first
Yeah.
pops up. That's when I believe the successor to the guy that it was originally presented to mentioned that originally when it was first brought forth, like somebody said that it was an art piece. And so like they were doing it as a way to verify whether or not it could be done, as a way of leaning
Oh,
towards
wow.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really
But-
cool.
No, yeah, Everlasting God Supper in the TikTok chat. It's called Bass Relief. As soon as you said that, Everlasting, that's what Bass Relief is the method. Yeah.
It's like a half
And also-
statue.
And also, everlasting, that's the point I was just going to talk about. That's normally the point that I like to bring up when it comes to the Shroud of Turin. It's, I don't know, I hate the argument regardless, because to me, when you just look at the image, it doesn't look like something that would have been wrapped around a body by any means. It just looks completely flat pasted, as if somebody was drawing. I feel as if if it was an actual body, it would have more like characteristics, not such a flat face.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't hear that argument enough, and I wanted to ask her if you really did want to decide whether or not you were right or wrong. If you really cared about the truth, go do the experiment yourself.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I think it's damning because Hey, I saw your show, John, with Matt Dillahunty last night on the line. It was awesome.
Oh yeah. Did you like it?
Yeah, good conversations.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of, I mean, I felt a little bit out of my depth on a couple of them, but I figured, we did pretty good. I thought, at least I tried to add my 2 cents in on occasion.
Yeah, that was good. I wanted to ask you if I could plug my live on your show.
Oh yeah, totally. Go ahead.
I go live once a week on Sunday morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time,
Mhm.
and I go to about 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, cool.
I try to squeeze in two or 3 hours, either 8 to 11 or 8:30. 9 to 11 or 8:30 to 11:30 if I can.
Yeah, I'll
So
definitely
that's-
tune in for that. There.
Awesome, man.
I've tried to show up at one of your lives so much, Godwin, but you never have anybody up on the panel, and it confuses me. Because I'll hear you talking to somebody, and I see nobody on the panel, and you don't let up any requesters.
No, that's not necessarily true. Last week I had a panel, and I usually do try to. Well, I've been on this thing where I've been trying to go solo because I really just want to work on my chops and see how I do and see where I fail. So I've been trying to go solo, and I'm really careful about who I pick on my panel because I'm trying to do sort of like the Socratic method, not quite Anthony Magnabosco, but I try to do like a summarized version, a quicker version of the Socratic method. I try to get people to think about why they believe a thing.
Yeah.
And I don't like to just harp on them or argue with them. I want to figure out the keystone in what's holding up their belief,
That's fair. I wasn't coming at you for that or anything. Just wanted to say, and nobody, I know you're my fan. Don't worry about it, buddy.
That's awesome. Yeah, man, we've been friends for a bit.
But I was going to answer my friend, this is actually a friend that I know in real life here. Yamin here. So I don't want to use your real name that I know, but it says, it's a great thing to draw pilgrims to churches and make money, talking about the shroud. And that's why some people call it the Shroud of Tourism is what I've heard it called. And so I just wanted to point that out. Let's see. Hold on. There. I did get some super chats. There. A little bit ago. So we got 5 from Gretchen, who says, "Alec, agony to light. That you are not an agnostic atheist." I don't know about agony to light, but maybe that was Alex in a former incarnation. And then Narcissa says, "Alec, we know a liar when we hear one." And Gretchen also said, "You believe the shit out of the Book of Mormon." No, I'm not exactly sure about whether or not he was Mormon. But Carson James asked if there were any responses from CBJ yet. I've heard of some responses, and they are not favorable whatsoever. So I just wanted to answer that real quick. I don't know if he's still here or not, but thank you so much, Contra Deity, for sending in some roses there. I appreciate you, as well as Chaos sending their heart in. But anyways, yeah, so we're just kind of, wrapping up a little bit, I guess. If there's anybody that really wants to come up and have a conversation, we can have a quick one. But, other than that, just kind of
Gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm chilling out here at the end. It was a few fun conversations today. Got that out of my system, and now I can go and have dinner and relax.
John, one more thing I forgot to mention my YouTube. I saw Gretchen, and that reminded me. She's been busting my chops about I have hardly any followers on YouTube. So I'm at Godwin_7 on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen
Thank
you
you.
a few times commenting and stuff.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Jaden, come up on my live, and if I don't have something going on, I'll. Sometimes I have a panel.
I got you. What was I gonna say? I had something I wanted to say.
Did it have to do with religion?
I do really want to apologize because I feel as if I've been a little feisty since I've been on the panel. It's been weeks since I've last really debated at all. I've been on a break for a little while. I have a lot of stuff going on. Not doing the greatest, but keeping my chin up. So I do want to apologize for that.
You're good. No, I mean, I'm usually feisty too, so no problem there. Hypatia over there on YouTube says, "I keep losing my Facebook and I lost my YouTube once. That sucks. I hate it when that happens." I used to, on Facebook, the thing that you had to do was keep like 2 or 3 backup accounts attached to your pages because you'd always get banned. And so it's crazy. But Contra says, "I appreciate all my deconstruction homies. You're all doing a great job." And Contra wants you to know, there, Godwin, that she will find you and she will follow you over there. Oh man. Well, yeah, so this has been great. Last week I was actually at the Revival of Reason over there in Atlanta, and I got to do like I lip synced a rap that I had written, and then I was actually on a panel about content creation and just trying to encourage people to create content and giving people my own 2 cents about that. Ben, my friend Ben says, "Thanks for all the work you do." Oh, thank you so much there, Ben. Appreciate you. And then
Speaking of content.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go on.
Well, I was going to say, Tired of Liars celebrates 1 month of membership. Thank you so much. Where is the Torah written by Jesus? He was a rabbi, right? A rabbi must write a Torah. Well, I mean, if Jesus was a rabbi, I'm not sure about that particular aspect of it, like him being a rabbi, but I don't think that he necessarily had to write anything. And in fact, in the first century, writing and reading and speaking were actually 2 separate like skills that people developed, especially when it comes to Koine Greek. But another language that would have been fluent at that time in that area was Aramaic. And so he may not have actually known any Hebrew. It's so up in the air as far as like what we can know about that.
John, so we're not sure if a rabbi at the time would have known Hebrew. That's kind of what you said, right?
Well, I mean, not so rabbis at the time that were reading from the Torah would have known Hebrew for sure. But
Yeah, that was the point I was going to make. But yeah, Justin Deconstruction said something to the effect of there's evidence that when Jesus recites some of the verses that were on, when he unrolls the scroll and he reads that thing wrong.
Mhm.
And there's a mistake like that somewhere where Jesus quotes something from the Septuagint.
Mhm.
So meaning Jesus only knew the Greek version.
Well, no,
I mean, yeah.
So that would only be the case if like any of the stories in the Gospels were true, at least true to true to reality. Now, those that were writing the Gospels, like the New Testament, those that were writing that were definitely reading the Septuagint because of the fact that they were they learned how to read and write in pagan schools, and so they would have known, how to read and write in Koine Greek.
In Koine Greek. Well, yeah, no, I think I may have explained this incorrectly. Something about the way Jesus read that and the way it was written was incorrect. In other words, if he read it in Hebrew, he would not have made the mistake. It's something that Justin discovered. And that he would not have made the mistake. So it proved that Jesus didn't know how to read Hebrew as God.
Well, right.
If he was God, he'd know how to read Hebrew. And if he was a rabbi, he also would have known how to read Hebrew. You get what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I feel like that really is only profitable if you're looking at the Gospels as being inerrant, like as in relaying exactly what Jesus would have done or actually did do. My particular position on it is that the Gospels were created to fulfill certain prophecies, so they were manufactured. And so regardless of whether or not there was like a real Jesus and whether or not he knew Hebrew, the Gospels were written from a perspective of only knowing the Septuagint. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And yeah, it's very evident. You're right. It does seem like they were, confabulated.
I'm totally with Justin on this, as long as you're talking to somebody that thinks the Gospels are literal history, like literal historical truth, then that's a great point to bring up. But I definitely, if you have somebody like Alec that was up here that was like, oh, well, we can't trust everything that's in the Gospels or the Bible or anything like that, then, he would just be like, well, that's the part they got wrong. He would just hand wave it away like that.
It's that idea, like, I don't have a problem with it, but there's a lot you have to accept, and everything that I brought up that he's kind of forced into a position of accepting, he just pivoted away from that. But have you read anything, do you know who Robin Faith Walsh is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you read her book on the early origin of Christian literature? Pretty sure that's what it's called.
I haven't read that one specifically. Why?
Well, so I still have to read it. I have a PDF of it. But the idea that I've heard about it is that she's kind of having this idea that there was communities of people of like schools creating the text, or it was something of that nature. It's been a while since I've talked about it, so I'm gonna butcher it here. But if you want, I can email over you the PDF, and you can take a look at it. But sure. I'm gonna try and explain it here. So, like, Sir would be much better explaining this. But basically, what I've heard about it is that it's kind of like trying to say that when we look at the Gospels, what's happening is that they're coming from these schools. I'm pretty sure they're called schools of thought, and there's kind of like a bunch of communities kind of competing with each other. Mm-hmm. In some nature. I'm not certain on how exactly they're quote unquote competing. I still have to read this so I can have a better understanding of it, but that's kind of just what I've heard about it.
Okay, I'd be interested in that PDF. And then Ben from the chat says, I forgot to ask if you got the email I sent last week. Did you send it to my work email or the email associated with the YouTube account? Just let me know. I've been really bad at checking my work email there, Ben. Because we got teams at work, and I just it's been a little difficult. And I do want to apologize to Gretchen, who said that I should have read their super chats earlier. Could have pushed Alec on the Book of Mormon. He hand waves away the Bible in favor of the bomb. He's definitely hopefully he'll come back and we'll have further interactions, but hopefully I can push back on him about that. Oh, look, Contra. Hey there, Contra, how you doing?
What's that?
What's that? That's
I'm
like
trying to bring
20
it
years
back.
old.
I'm trying so hard. People keep telling me that fetch isn't gonna happen, and I'm like, what's that? Fetch this. Anyway, I was just coming up to say hi before I go in and help with capitalism against my will. Help.
Capitalism. No, I've been enjoying your lives, by the way, there, Contra.
Thank you. I've been also trying to do like a Socratic kind of thing. I go into it like I'm a female who doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
And it really gets them.
Yeah.
It draws them in.
I do want to say thank you to Ben for becoming a member. I didn't expect that there, Ben. Thank you so much. And then he said, yes, work. And so, yeah, I'll have to check that next week. But Ben, if you want to send me whatever you sent to my work email, it's just john@godlessengineering.com, and I'll be able to respond to you this weekend. But anyway, so Contra, when are you going to be live next?
Well, I keep telling people that my set out day is Tuesday. I need to figure out what my time zone is, like, in actuality. Right now, it's 6:47 in my time.
Oh, okay.
It's 7:47 for me, so for EST, you're an hour ahead.
I have no idea what that means.
An hour behind.
What time is that?
If you could come
What time
on
do I
on
tell people?
Sunday, I'll have you on.
What letters do I tell people?
I don't know what the
IDK?
letters would be, but
All right, tune in Tuesday, IDK time.
IDK.
Whenever. Good luck.
I
It's
don't give a time.
subjective.
I don't give a time for my lives. I just go live. If you know I'm gonna be live, you just gotta wait to see it. That's your best shot.
Yeah, so Contra, I would be able to tell you which one, but I don't want you to dox yourself.
IDK standard. Well, I've already gone on lives and told people that I'm in the Bible Belt, Tennessee time.
Oh, Tennessee time. Okay. Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Oh, that still doesn't narrow it down because Tennessee has both Central and Eastern.
Middle. I'm the fat beer gut of Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Oh man.
The rural part.
Yeah. Okay. I think you're probably Central then.
CDT?
Yep, CDT.
IDK. CDT.
IDK,
Okay, that sounds
CDT.
familiar.
There you go.
This Atlantic Standard. This Atlantic Standard. That's another one.
That one sounds way cooler.
Contra, you know what you could do? You could just Google where your town is, right? And where you are, and say, what is the time called in this area?
Okay, Bible boy.
That's the nickname that they have given me. I was hoping they were going to forget it, but man.
Never. Fucking never, especially when you're going to mansplain time zones to me, knowing that I know perfectly well how to Google
mansplain.
things.
I didn't mansplain.
You had the tone.
What?
You know, if you go to Google, you can Google what time is my time zone.
Oh no, I'm just condescending as a motherfucker. I love to be it.
It's fine. I've got some spiciness going on too. I heard some very sad news stories today, and I'm just pissed at the government. But whatever.
Yeah, I'm constantly pissed at the government, and I work for them. I did want to. I'll love something like that. I'm not sure, but said. Read this book, Godless Engineer. Did Jesus Exist? The Historical Argument for the Jesus of Nazareth by Bart D. Ehrman. So since you're on my channel over there, all love, I do have a conversation with Bart on my channel where I don't talk to him about that in particular, but I do talk to him about the crucifixion and why I don't think that the crucifixion happened on earth, or, not in so much like I just asked him for the evidence, and he did not have good evidence for it. But I also have read his book, and it's horrible. It's a bad book. Like all the other books that Ehrman has written are of noticeably different quality, higher quality, even the pop level ones. That one is just bad. Like it's really bad. In my opinion. And then they also asked, why do a majority of scholars disagree with you on the existence of Jesus? Maybe they've actually studied, unlike you. No, I've actually studied this for a long, long time. And I actually know my shit when it comes to this, so much so that I'm actually going to be writing some journal articles here soon. I'm trying to write them now. But I'm writing journal articles to submit on, dating the Gospels as well as Paul's writings. So we're definitely going to be doing that. Or I'm going to be submitting those here soon. So I'm going to be a published author, at least, I guess, in that respect.
So, GE, when you say journal, you mean like actual journals, not like Dear Diary, though, right?
Right. Yeah.
I don't want them to get confused.
No, actual like the journal. I forget which ones I've targeted for this, but like there's a journal of New Testament studies that I'm looking at, as well as some other ones that I can sort of fast track through some of my stuff before I get to more established scholarly journals. But yeah, they're definitely peer reviewed, and I've got 3 scholars that are going to help me get it peer reviewed, because I've never published anything before, so they're going to help me get it published.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to be publishing.
Yeah. I'm glad you got like some support, some help and stuff. Like.
Oh yeah, and I gotta say, here lately it's been difficult as far as like the support goes. So, but yeah, it's I'm just glad to see that there's so many people that are still here and everything like that. So, I see Casey's in the chat there. I appreciate her being over here right now. I know that I need to get off of the live though. Not okay. Hold on. They said not a peer-reviewed journal. Well, actually, the stuff that I'm submitting to peer review is not about whether or not Jesus existed. It's about dating the Gospels as well as Paul's epistles and refuting some bad mythicism. So, like, I'm refuting bad mythicism there. I would think that people would be behind that.
Deconstructing bad mythicism so you can get to the good mythicism.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm doing.
Contra, what would his journals look like? Woke up today, argued with 3 theists, denied the existence of Jesus, 8 a.m.
Nah, it'd probably be like, you'd open it up and it'd say, Dear Diary, just no, don't even.
Yeah.
Actually, never mind, keep using your voice. The end.
Well, hey, Contra, since you are in Tennessee, you are in driving distance of Huntsville, Alabama, and I would like to tell you about Rocket City Reason in October 23rd through 25th, if you would like to come and hang out for a bit.
I would. What does that entail?
Well, so it's if you go to rocketcityreason.com, you can actually see like all the events that we got established. But we're on Friday night, we're going to be having an Alabama barbecue that you can attend. We've also got a drag show that's going to be going on there. And then on Saturday, we've got Seth Andrews that's opening up the day with one of his talks. And then we've got like 3 different panels that's going to be going on, like content creation, how to talk to theists. That's an all women panel. And then we've got community and activism a panel with like Mandisa Thomas, as well as
oh yeah,
Chad. Is Chad on there? I think Chad's on the community one too. But Arch Radish is on there. That's going to be led by Phil Ferguson. I don't know if you know Phil Ferguson. Yeah, and so we're going to have that panel, and then we're going to end the day with Forrest Valkai and Erica Gutsick Gimmon on stage together talking about how to combat bad science.
Are they going to talk 8 hours?
They're going to end it with Forrest? Everyone's going to be so pumped at the end of that. They're going to be like, what? It's over? You got to start with Forrest. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, and it actually doesn't end there because we're going to have a live line show after that. We're going to break
party.
Yeah, we're going to break for dinner, and then we're going to have a live line show the rest of the night. And then Sunday, we're going to go and tour the Space and Rocket Center.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, so that. It's and it's October 23rd through 25th, so it's later in the year. It's going to be cooler, and it's going to be awesome. And I hope that you can come if you can make it.
Hell yeah! Do y'all are they going to have like archery things where you can paint your own target, like the Christians?
I don't know about that, but we do have a giant Saturn V rocket.
That works. That's better, but yeah. I was just making a jokes.
Yeah, I got you.
All right.
Yeah, I suggested that he have donkey rides so that everyone could say that they fulfilled prophecy.
Yeah.
Give him a cup. Give him a cup that says prophecy on the side of it, and fill it up when they get to the end of their little donkey ride, so they can say they fulfilled it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, so everybody on TikTok that's watching right now, definitely go over here, subscribe to Contra, or follow Contra rather. Follow Contra so that y'all can be in her lives. Also follow Godwin. I know Jaden was up here a second ago, but he had to leave out apparently. Follow both of them. They go live. They do excellent live, so definitely check them out over there, okay? But anyways,
thank you.
Yeah, no, thank y'all for coming up and everything. And I'll just talk to y'all later, okay?
Good to see you. Thanks. Bye.
Yep, good to see y'all. Bye, everybody. Oh, wait. Hold on. I got to do my thing.
Oh, music.
Yep.
Use your voice. Oh, sorry.
Don't forget to stand up and use your voices every day. What's up there, YouTube? Hold on, I gotta get over here and like stop everything. I had the bell thing up there the entire time. Fuck me. Shit, I fucked this up. Anyways, let's see. We almost went the full 3 hours. Did we get what? We got 4 out of 15. 5 if we're counting the member miss, or maybe it was. Let's see. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll count 8. Well, we got 8, but there was a $20 one, which maybe that should count for 4. That's still 12. I don't know. I don't know if I'll do a classic stream tomorrow or not. We'll just have to see. I might be able to do it. I've got some content that I'm wanting to make, but let me close out that. All right, I'm gonna be gone. Y'all be good out there, and I hope that y'all have a great night, a great Thursday night. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow, maybe we won't, who knows. But regardless of all that, y'all have a lovely one. Don't forget to stand up, use your voice, and all that kind of good shit, and go to RocketCityReason.com for your tickets to Rocket City Reason in October 23rd through 25th. We'll see y'all later. Bye, heathens.